For one team, the season will end today. For the other, they will advance to within one game of the Super Bowl. Welcome to Quest Field in Seattle, where it is raining as the NFC Divisional Playoff about to begin on Fox between the Washington Redskins and the Seattle Seahawks. Dick Stockton along with Darryl Johnston and Tony Siragusa and the Washington Redskins have been in a sudden death state of mind since early December. They have had to play 6 one-game seasons in essence. They have won them all, including a victory at Tampa Bay in the wild card matchup last week. But today, they go for number 7 against the number 1 seeded team in the conference, the Seattle Seahawks, finally putting it all together this year, finishing strong with 11 straight victories before a meaningless defeat at the end of the year. The Seahawks, as you might be able to tell, did not lose at home this year. But this is a franchise that has not won a playoff game since 1984. And Darryl, this is a rematch, of course. In week number 4, these teams played in Washington. Redskins won on a field goal in overtime. What did you take away from that game?
The most important part of that game was third down, and the Washington Redskin offense was able to convert and stay on the field. They kept the Seahawks offense on the sideline. Now, last week against Tampa Bay, they did not have a good performance. They have to establish the run and get their playmakers involved early this afternoon against a Seattle defense that doesn't have a lot of individual stars, but plays great together as a group. But the big matchup in today's game is strength versus strength. Seattle's offense versus Washington's defense. And for the Seahawk offense, it's kind of pick your poison. If you elect to shut down Shaun Alexander, you still have to contend with Matt Hasselbeck. He's had a career year, and he's playing with a tremendous amount of confidence. And the Washington Redskin defense is all about pressure, and Greg Williams expected the Seahawks to prepare for that pressure this week. Expect them to come out and play more coverage and challenge the patience and decision-making of Matt Hasselbeck.
All right, Darryl, well, the crowd noise is going to be a factor today. Tony Siragusa will have more on that coming up.
Watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in HD, and presented by DirecTV.
1 year, an increase of viewers almost equal to the populations of Dickinson and Jersey Village. Fox 26, still Houston's fastest growing morning news.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough. Fullness from a value menu.
No one's going anywhere until you tell me who's full. Me too.
New to the Big Bell value menu. The half-pound cheesy bean and rice burrito. Loaded with 3 cheeses, fiesta sauce, and a cheesy, zesty kick. Designed to keep your stomach and your wallet full.
Number 3. If I'm a new cheesy bean and rice burrito, you are?
Full.
Oh,
To get full-on value, think outside the bun.
We're getting involved with the Bally 30-day program to lose our collective pregnancy weight.
It's great we're doing it together. It's definitely a new chapter for us.
Get it together today. Join Bally Total Fitness now for no money to start and get a free personal training session.
Here we are 30 days later, the new and approved Hickmans.
The best thing is losing my gut.
I've lost a total of 13¼ inches. I feel really good right now, and I know what.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to cop a feel.
Meet your potential. Call 1-800-FITNESS for the club nearest you.
The savings add up at McDonald's, especially now that you can get 2 juicy Quarter Pounder with cheese sandwiches for just $2.62.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
How'd you learn to pour like that?
It was nothing.
Put on side, no good. Put on center, the release combination and aroma. Again! Again! Okay!
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
I thought you were getting hors d'oeuvres.
It's game time, baby. Come on now.
Well, that's a double quarter pounder.
With cheese.
Samantha wanted hors d'oeuvres.
The double quarter pounder with cheese. Pound one. Hors d'oeuvres.
Yes.
And this is what I had in mind when I thought about you.
There are two kinds of people, two kinds of companies who change the world. Those who invent and those who deliver. SBC and AT&T have joined forces to create the most complete and secure network on Earth, so you can make the most of your world. Introducing the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
More Americans choose Chevy than any other brand. And now, we just lowered the sticker price on every car, truck, and SUV we sell. Find out more. Click on head-to-head at Edmunds.com. America's #1 brand, America's #1 value. Chevy, an American revolution.
This is an open stadium, and it's rained here for 27 straight days. These two teams are playing on field turf, so that they will not have any footing problems today. It will not be a factor. But one thing that will be a factor is the crowd noise. This is the loudest stadium in the NFL, bar none. Opponents have 24 false start penalties, most out of any stadium, dome or open. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a playoff game. This will be louder than any other regular season game. Fans here in Seattle take a lot of pride being the 12th man, as you're going to see right now.
And that's what you play for. Home field advantage throughout, which the Seahawks have, and a week off before you have to play a divisional playoff game where your guys can get healthy, and that's what the Seahawks have done. They have also won the toss and will get the ball first. John Hall will be kicking off for the Redskins. He missed that first Seattle game, and back deep will be Josh Scobie for the Seahawks. And the game underway, and a very short kickoff by Hall, and Scobie retrieving it at about the 16-yard line and is dropped at about the 33-yard line. So Matt Hasselbeck, who came of age this year, a team record for passer rating, and Mike Holmgren has brought him along, says he can be a great one.
Well, I think the big thing there is a trust between Mike Holmgren and Matt Hasselbeck right now. You hear that cliche, they're on the same page. He's afforded him more flexibility at the line of scrimmage to audible and get into better plays, and that's one of the reasons this offense has been so productive this season.
They open with 3 wide receivers, including Joe Juravicius and the fullback Max Strong going in motion to the right. On first down from the 34, directing traffic, and the pass is caught by Darrell Jackson and stopped at the 39 after a gain of 6.
The Redskins are going to be geared to stop the run. That's going to afford these guys an opportunity down the field to have a big day. Joe Juravicius, 10 TD catches this season, the most in his career. This is a good group. There's some people out here that don't know a lot about the Seahawks. This is one of those areas everybody says, well, if you stop Sean Alexander, you can shut that offense down. I don't believe it.
Second down and 4 with plenty of time, and the pass thrown away. Max Strong, the intended receiver, and remember, a lot of those receivers were injured throughout most of the year, and the Seahawks did not miss a beat.
And for the Redskin defense, it's going to be key on first down. Seattle is #2 in the NFL at yards on first down, and it was such a big part of that first game, the third down situation. But they've got to play well on first down if they're going to play well on third.
And if you want to control the ball, which the Redskins might want to do to keep this offense off the field, they'll have to stop Seattle on 3rd down. 3rd and 4 coming up at the 40. And Hasselbeck is going to go deep for Darrell Jackson, who makes the reception and goes out of bounds. Sean Springs was beaten by Darrell Jackson, who missed 10 games with knee surgery this season, a gain of 37.
Well, it didn't take long for Matt Hasselbeck. He talked about challenging Sean Springs down the field. He knows he's coming off an injury, and he's not that healthy. Sean Springs kind of sitting on something there. He thought it was going to be a shorter route. Darrell Jackson never stopped.
Sean Springs, who played 7 years with the Seahawks and once a #1 draft pick, coming back home to Seattle and beaten. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. And Sean Alexander with his first carry of the game. And Alexander is bottled up, picking up 3 yards with Demetric Evans making the tackle. Evans at defensive end starting in place of the injured Ronaldo Wynn. Mike Holmgren, the only team that Mike Holmgren has never beaten as a head coach, the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that he has to get off his back, too. But this is a different group out here. I mean, we've talked about a lot of the stars and the players on the Seahawks team, but I think the big change this season has been the attitude and the chemistry of this entire team.
Already in field goal range, 2nd and 7, play action on the rollout, and the pass caught by Bobby Ingram. That'll be a 1st down just outside the 10-yard line and an 8-yard gain.
Coming into the game, I think Greg Williams thought that maybe the Seahawks would come out flat. They haven't played a real meaningful game in quite some time. He was hoping to take advantage of Matt Hasselbeck, maybe being pumped up, the adrenaline's going, maybe getting on the ball to sail away to get a turnover. But I tell you what, he has been extremely impressive on this opening series.
And already Greg Williams is looking at the best offense. Seahawks scoring touchdowns on the opening drive in 4 of their last 5 regular season games. Here's another pass up the middle, and it's off of Ingram, and it was deflected perhaps by Sean Taylor, but Ingram had beaten Taylor in the end zone.
What a great defensive play by Sean Taylor. Great play fake to Sean Alexander. Gets everybody to bite. Look at that hole right there. Watch the athletic ability. Sean Taylor, that's what you have in the secondary. That's why he is so important to that group. He was beaten on that play, but he had the ability to get back and make that deflection.
They only rushed 4 guys in that particular play, 4 defensive linemen. Got no pressure. Matt Hasselbeck feels very comfortable in that pocket. You can't let him get comfortable back there, or he will pick you apart.
2nd and 10 at the 11-yard line. Sean Alexander has carried only once. Here is his 2nd attempt. Fumbles. And the Redskins may have recovered. They do. So Sean Alexander fumbles, and the Redskins get it on the 10. It was Lamar Marshall who made the recovery. And the Seahawks opening drive ends in a turnover.
Phoenix. There's an exciting new sound in travel. Everybody's downloading the Southwest Ding. Enter the Ding and Win sweepstakes at southwest.com to win 2 free tickets a week for an entire year.
You are now free to move about the country.
Get me closer, man. I smell a Hemi. I knew it! The new Ram 1500 with a new front end, new suspension, new frame. It's got a Hemi, all right. And that MDS to save you gas. A new interior. That can't be good.
For the first time ever, get $1,000 overstock bonus cash and grab a Ram 1500 for under 18 grand.
Okay, Lindsay, this is the last big one before Torino. You can do this. Don't look at them, look at me. Picture yourself alone on the mountain. Imagine yourself on the medal stand. No one can touch you. Try to imagine your Visa check card just got stolen.
I'm good.
Relax. If your Visa check card's lost or stolen, you're not liable for fraudulent charges, and all that money will be put back. Signed with a safe, secure Visa check card.
The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40.
So a fumble by Sean Alexander on an impressive drive by the Seahawks, and now Mark Brunell in his 10th career playoff start replaced an injured Patrick Ramsey in the second quarter of the opening game and never looked back. First down on the 11, and this is where the crowd could become a factor. Play action, Brunell inside his 5, nowhere to go, and finally throws it out of bounds. Leroy Hill, the rookie linebacker, putting pressure on Mark Brunell, who played at the University of Washington.
Well, the formula has been set on how to stop this Washington offense. One of these guys is going to have to step up today. Taylor Jacobs, your second wide receiver, not much production this year, not much confidence in his abilities on the outside.
On first down, the Redskins used only one wide receiver. That was Moss. Second down and 10. Hand off to Clinton Portis. And Portis carries it out to about the 14, where Lofa Tatupu makes the tackle, picking up 3.
It's going to be the same recipe for this Seattle defense also. Worried about the run. They're going to bring 8 guys into the box. That leaves these 3 defenders back in coverage. Andre Dyson back in the game today, missed the last 4. A big addition. When you're going to put that 8th guy in the box, you have to have confidence in the other 3 in coverage.
Third down and 8. Santana Moss to the bottom of your picture, defended by Marcus Trufant. There he is, 3rd and 8 from the 13, and Brunell's pass, and off the hands of Taylor Jacobs. Defending was Andre Dyson, so they want to get Jacobs into the game, but Dyson returns in a big way.
You got to make this catch. It's such a huge part of the game to convert on 3rd down and give your team more opportunities. Just put, get the ball in your hands, squeeze it in tight. Andre Dyson's there. He gets a hand on it. But you see right there, Taylor Jacobs, they're just not sure what they're going to get from him on the outside.
So Derek Frost, who has been shaky as of late, will be kicking from the end zone for Washington. And looking at good field position, Jimmy Williams is going to let it bounce. It takes a big Redskin hop and will get inside the 40-yard line. So the Redskins catch a break there. Each team has had the ball once. Seahawks turned it over, but they'll get it back right now. We'll be back. No score.
Joe, you're glad we got the Durango, right?
Of course.
And you liked all the money we saved when we bought it, right?
Got us a bigger boat.
Oh, and how about the Hemi engine and the DVD player and the hands-free cell? Then why won't you use the navigation system?
I'm not lost.
Dodge Durango.
This is starting to look familiar.
It's a lot of great stuff for a great price. For the first time ever, get $1,000 overstock bonus cash and grab a Dodge Durango for under $25 grand.
Hello.
What can I do for you?
Well, actually, it's what you can stop doing. I'm with Computer Docs. When your computer's ill, we're the pill.
Cute.
Thanks.
Okay, what can I stop doing?
Offering your safety and security center.
No.
Could you stop it from automatically updating?
No.
Charge extra for it?
I think we're done here.
Very good.
Go to AOL.com/safety or call 1-866-NEED-AOL for the most comprehensive set of online safety tools. Want a better internet? You belong at AOL.
We can do this without you.
Where's the fun in that? We're a team.
What are you guys talking about?
The Shield, all new next week, only on FX.
The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by Budweiser. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
We played 3.5 minutes, no score, and the Seahawks getting the ball for the second time, and the Redskins 23 consecutive postseason games with a takeaway, second longest active streak to Miami. Joe Gibbs has his team in the playoffs and his second year back as head coach of the Redskins. Max Strong in motion, the pitch to Alexander, and he goes nowhere. And a loss of 1 yard. Cornelius Griffin on the tackle for Alexander. That was only the second fumble that he has lost all season. The other one was against Green Bay in the last game of the season.
The challenge for the Redskin defense is to be technically sound. You have to stay in your gap. Sean Alexander is a cutback runner, and he's very patient. He's got great vision, and he's very deceptive the way he runs. So you can't think that all of a sudden you're going to be able to make a play and get out of your responsibility, because he will find where that opening is and get right into it.
28 touchdowns, 27 on the ground, an NFL record, 2nd and 11. And again, the handoff to Sean Alexander, and cutting upfield and tackled at the 39, getting 4 yards. And it was Joe Salavea making the tackle. Redskins playing without Ronaldo Wynn, but they have Griffin back, who was shaken up this year, Salavea, and those were 2 important elements in stopping enemy runners.
Oh, big guys inside. You can't say enough about how much those guys mean when they were out of the lineup. This was not the same defense. You saw the success on that first play. What it does is it gets you the opportunity to get in these 3rd and long situations, and Seattle has really struggled all season in that area.
3rd down and 6. Hasselbeck with the short drop and tries to flip it out, but Philip Daniels got a hand on it. Maurice Morris was the intended receiver, so the Redskins defense comes up big again, and 4th down coming up.
These guys are so good at tipping the ball. I mean, 2 huge plays last week against Tampa Bay on deflected passes. They just know when to get their hands up. You get there, you know you're not going to get in. Find the quarterback. Where's his line of sight? Move back over into that area and then get your hands up in the air.
And big factors on the interceptions thrown by Chris Sims last week. Down at the 12-yard line. 48-yard punt. No score. Teams feeling each other out in quarter number 1.
What is Budweiser? It's bright, the look of perfection. It's crisp with ideal flavor. It's clean for a great finish. It's pure, made with the finest all-natural ingredients.
This is Budweiser. This is clean. Budweiser.
This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Back up, yes, it's on. Word is born till the break of dawn. Got the mic in my hand, and the crowd is mine. Let me spit it to you.
With its Hemi power and muscular styling.
Nice car, mister.
Nice bike. It can make anyone feel like one bad dude. Charger Unleashed. For the first time ever, get $1,000 overstock bonus cash and grab a Dodge Charger for under 26 grand.
The Winter Games are coming, but before the torch is lit, another competition will take hold of America. Some call it the greatest spectacle on ice. We call it skating with celebrities.
What have I gotten myself into?
Fox Wednesday. 6 world-class figure skaters, including Nancy Kerrigan, will pair up with 6 celebrities who are untrained, undaunted, and totally uncoordinated. Featuring Full House's Dave Coulier, Deborah Gibson, and Todd Bridges. And after all the bumps and bruises, you'll be amazed by how far they come.
I thought it was fantastic.
Skating with Celebrities premieres Fox Wednesday after American Idol.
Steady rain here in Seattle, as Tony pointed out, the 27th consecutive day. The record is 33, set in 1953. There have been mudslides and tough times for residents of the Pacific Northwest. Redskins with their second possession, starting at the 12. First down, and Clinton Portis with the carry. And Portis gets 3 yards. Tony.
You know, what the Redskins did here about the 27 days, like you mentioned, what they did do in practice is they had a bucket of water, they had the ball, and they would dunk the ball in the water and give it to Mark Brunell and let him run his plays with a wet ball so we get used to how damp the balls are going to be out here today.
Mark Brunell has been very good with the wet ball. Of course, as we mentioned, 3 years going to the Super Bowl at the University of Washington. Second down and 7.
My monitor.
And here is Portis off the right side. And so far, the run not a factor for either team. Marcus Tubbs making the tackle. Gain of 1 for Portis, coming into the game with the bruised shoulders. And last week did not play a good part of the game. And it's possible today we'll see a lot more of Liddell Betts and Rock Cartwright, depending on how Portis gets along with his injury.
That'd be a big loss for this Redskin offense. You talk about that 6-game winning streak. Besides last week, those first 5 games prior to that, he was the real reason. Got on a real tear running the football.
3rd down and 6. Straight drop back by Brunell, gets hit. And it is ruled an incomplete pass. Rocky Bernard, who comes off the bench, hitting Brunell from behind, 2nd in sacks amongst defensive tackles in the league.
And this is a group, I mean, you don't know a lot of their names. Here comes 99, Rocky Bernard on a little stunt right there, gets unimpeded to the quarterback. Mark Brunell doesn't see him coming. You see right there, they led the NFL in sacks this season without one player with double-digit sack totals.
They have 50, a tremendous number. So again, Derek Frost will be kicking. First time from the end zone, here from inside the 5. Jimmy Williams is back deep. And gets off a better kick, but coming up is Williams, and Williams is hit immediately, and the ball is loose. And the Redskins, no, the Seattle Seahawks recover, but Carlos Rogers forced the fumble, and very nearly a recovery by Matt Bowen.
The all-new Ram Mega Cab has an available Cummins diesel, the only reclining rear seats, and the most rear seat legroom in a truck. It has the world's biggest cab.
See you guys. Later. Okay. Who's riding shotgun?
I'm good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Hi, honey.
Comfy back there?
The Dodge Ram Mega Cab. Yeah, it's that big. For the first time ever, get $1,000 overstock bonus cash and grab a Ram Mega Cab for around $32 grand.
To speak to a customer service rep in English, press 9. To speak to a customer service rep about your account balance, press 36.
All right.
To speak to a customer service rep about recent charges, press 36. To speak to a customer service rep about latest charges, press 57. I'm sorry, I cannot understand.
Sometimes you just want to get straight through. That's why there's the Citi Simplicity credit card. Simply press 0 to talk to a person. Citi, live richly.
Now is the best time to add a member of your family tree to ours with Family Talk from Singular. And join America's largest calling community with unlimited calling to other Singular customers.
Hey, what's going on?
Over 52 million of them. Add a line for just $9.99. Plus get a cool Nokia video camera phone for only $29.99. Singular, raising the bar.
The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by Subway. Celebrate this new year by keeping your resolutions. Subway, eat fresh. By Singular, raising the bar. By the Citi Simplicity Credit Card. Citi, live richly. And by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
That last play, Addy Jamil comes in, puts the hit on Jimmy Williams. Look at that, 2 guys standing right there. Somehow he comes up with the ball, prevents those Redskins from getting on a short field.
But the Seahawks will start from the 43, their 3rd possession of the game. Play action, and Hasselbeck going through the air. Has a second look, now scrambling. And throws it away. So far, Matt Hasselbeck has been stymied by the Redskins defense. That time, Demetric Evans, who started 7 games for Philip Daniels, and now starting for Ronaldo Wynn at the other end position, bringing up 2nd and 10.
Well, Greg Williams staying with that plan. He's playing more coverage right now. They have not blitzed on 1 down to this point in the game. They've rushed 4. Sometimes they've even rushed 3. They're dropping back to challenge Matt Hasselbeck's patience. He came out that opening drive, did a good job, but now I think the coverage is tightened down. I don't think it's Matt's decisions. I think they're playing great coverage in the secondary and at the linebacker level.
He doesn't want to get burned on those blitzes by Sean Alexander ripping off a big run. And here is the handoff to Alexander. Griffin making the tackle after a pickup of 3 yards.
this offense has been together for so long, and it's hard to explain to people. You know, it's so important to know your teammate. And you talk about not just like Walter Jones and Steve Hutchison playing side by side, but Max Strong and Sean Alexander having run together as fullback and halfback. You know, Matt Hasselbeck being in this system and knowing, you know, what the coach expects. This offensive group has great chemistry, and they don't need to communicate as much at the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 7. 4 wide receivers and Max Strong, the setback. Hasselbeck stepping up, and the ball is tipped. And Omar Stoutmeyer on a safety blitz. So you're absolutely right. They decided to send some people. Stoutmeyer got a hand on it, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, finally bringing some pressure from the left side, but Seattle's got it covered, but they get a tip on it right there, and you see how good this team is. 28 tip passes at the line of scrimmage, leads the NFL, and it's not by happenstance. This is something that is preached by every coach on the defensive side of the ball for the Redskins.
So Tom Ruin made by Jordan Babineau, and an injured Redskin on the field. 7:21 remaining in the first quarter. It's Brown who's shaken up.
This time of year, everyone wants to lose weight. Subway restaurants can help. With their new Fresh Resolutions Instant Win Game, you can win thousands of great prizes, like an all-inclusive Beaches Family Resorts vacation for 4. The more you come in, the more chances you have to win. And with 8 delicious subs with 6 grams of fat or less, what have you got to lose? Bye-bye burgers.
Right now, a high-performance Dell XPS system with Windows XP Media Center and a 19-inch flat panel can be yours for only $969. And for a limited time, qualified XPS customers pay no interest for 18 months. XPS, the ultimate Dell PC.
If I was a Super Bowl legend, I'd be one of the guys telling the current players congratulations, but stay focused. Keep your eyes on the prize. If I was a Super Bowl legend, I'd tell you that whatever you did during the regular season means nothing right now. Zip, nada, zilch. It's 0-0, no score, and everything to play for. Right now, the only thing that anyone cares about is who's going to be the next legend, who's going to put that ring on their finger. That's what I'd say if I was a Super Bowl legend. But I'm not. Who's going to be? Follow the road.
Access SuperBowl.com for complete playoff and Super Bowl coverage. On game day, vote for the Super Bowl MVP at SuperBowl.com or using your wireless device.
Antonio Brown makes the first guy miss, but here comes Jordan Babineau. Delivers a big hit from the backside.
And finally walked off on his own power. You know, that's another with James Thrash out of there. Thrash, a good punt returner. It hurts the Redskins there. But so far, it's interesting. It's been a defensive first quarter, which is probably good news for Washington.
Well, the big thing is the field position. It's been a battle this whole time. You know, they had that turnover when they got down deep into Washington territory, but they haven't been able to reestablish anything. The Washington Redskins, they've been backed up almost every possession up until this point.
Starting field position was the 12th until now, and now they're starting not much better at the 15. Brunell looking one way and firing, and Taylor Jacobs making the catch. And you wonder whether Mark Brunell will continue to have confidence. Jacobs has to come through today, and the Redskins need someone else, as you pointed out, as a weapon besides the likes of Chris Cooley, Santana Moss, and Clinton Portis.
And it's going to be difficult when you're backed up on your own 13. Tony talked about that noise in the stadium today. When you get down in close to the end zone, it even ramps up a little bit more. So if you're backed up that whole time, it's going to be difficult for this offense.
After the 5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5 at the 20. And they'll run it with Portis. And Portis gets a yard. Trying to go up the middle, and Leroy Hill, the strong side linebacker. There is Hill, who was a 3rd-round pick out of Clemson. And did the Seahawks strike it rich, Darrell, with Hill and Lofa Tatupu, their 2nd-round draft pick. 2 rookies who have really boosted this defense.
They really have. And you talk about Lofa Tatupu also there. He's the guy that handles all your defensive calls. He's a rookie out there playing great football, but he's also the coordinator on the field for this defensive group.
3rd and 5, and it gets even louder. Empty backfield, and Brunell can't run like he used to, and is stopped short by about 4 yards by Lofa Tatupu. And 4th down coming up So the Redskins have done a good job in poor field position defensively, but have not been able to move the ball on attack. And so Derek Frost is aboard once again, and the Redskins will kick it to Jimmy Williams.
That first meeting when they converted all those third downs, one of the reasons was Mark Brunell. He scrambled for a couple of them, not that time.
Frost with the kick, and Williams gets hit immediately and holds on to it this time. And it was Adi Jamo. So two big special teams plays by Adi Jamos on punt coverage.
I wouldn't want to be a punt returner today.
Well, the Panthers and the Bears tomorrow at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Another rematch, Darryl.
This is going to be a great game. I draw a lot of parallels. You look at this Carolina team a couple years ago when they went to the Super Bowl. They had lost to Dallas and Philadelphia during the season. All they wanted was another shot at those teams. I think they want another shot at those Chicago Bears. They had a very poor performance the first time.
Steve Smith, the NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Brian Urlacher, the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year, and Rex Grossman, who played only 6 quarters, leading the way for the Bears at Soldier Field. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman will have all of it for tomorrow. First down, and on the rollout, Hasselbeck backing up, and the pass is caught at the 39 by Darrell Jackson. Good catch as he was hit by Sean Taylor. Gets only 4 yards, however.
Still not bringing a whole lot of pressure here. If Sean Springs on the outside with Darrell Jackson. Little zone coverage turns him loose. He's trying to get back to the underneath guy. Here comes 21 again. Bang. Boy, that guy can cover a lot of ground.
Second down and 6. Alexander cutting upfield, and Alexander will lose yardage. And the Redskins, and a fumble. And recovered initially by Seattle, and Alexander is shaken up. Sean Alexander, it was Marcus Washington who came in and put the pressure on Alexander, and he is slow getting up. This could be significant, obviously, and
the one thing that makes Seattle such a tough offense is a balanced attack and 2 big weapons on that side of the ball, the run game, the pass game. An injury to Sean Alexander all of a sudden makes this team one-dimensional.
Boy, you go into a playoff game like this, you don't count on that.
There's an exciting new sound in travel. Everybody's downloading the Southwest Ding. Enter the Ding and Win sweepstakes at Southwest.com to win 2 free tickets a week for an entire year.
You are now free to move about the country.
Dzisiaj przyjdą twoje nowe łyżwy?
Tak, gdybym mógł przyjechać taką pogodą.
Na pewno przyjedzie.
Śnisz, niemożliwe.
Złoży się o śniadanie. Fantastyczne! Mówiłem ci, dawaj śniadanie.
The most reliable color on earth. UPS. What can brown do for you?
I'll call you later.
It's good to hear your voice, you know it's been so long. If I don't get your calls and everything goes wrong, don't leave me hanging on the table.
When it matters, more bars in more places.
Hello?
That's the goal of the largest digital voice and data network in America.
Hey, Lauren.
Singular's all over network. Singular, raising the bar.
Sean Alexander right in the middle of all of that as he came out of the field. Tony, you're close to what's going on.
You know, right now they're checking out his neck and wiggling his hands. The one thing that would tell me, being a player, is sometimes you get dinged and your neck compresses. You start to get a burner where it shoots down your arms. That's one of the things it looks like right now.
Maurice Morris coming in, 3rd down and 7, and Hasselbeck stepping up, and he's going to be dumped behind the 40 by Demetric Evans. So Evans already making his presence felt, coming off the bench for the injured Ronaldo Wynn, and that will be a sack for the Redskins. No gain on the play, and 4th down coming up.
Redskins still getting pressure with just bringing 3 or 4. You see the 3 guys down there. look at the coverage by this group. I mean, there's nowhere for Matt Hasselbeck to go with the ball. We continue to see him pull it down. Great coverage by the secondary and linebackers.
You know, it's checked up by the Seahawks on the kick by Tom Ruin and down inside the 10. Well, we have had 6 straight 3-and-outs so far in this game with 3:44 remaining, and the Redskins backed up once again. Well, this February, the fastest sport on earth returns to Fox for another season of incredible action as the world's best drivers go door to door in a quest to take home the checkered flag. NASCAR returns in high definition with the Auto Club 500 February 26th only on Fox. Joe Gibbs knows a lot about that.
Yeah, people in Seattle want him to go back.
What a year for Joe Gibbs in 2 sports. First down on the 8. Clinton Portis running into his own blocker. Grant Wistrom making the tackle. A pickup of 2 for Portis, who was the 4th leading rusher in the NFL this year.
You see right there, the Seattle Seahawks defense, not one of the best in the NFL, way down the bottom of the pile at 28. 3 of them already today. And they're executing the formula that we've seen successful against this Redskin offense throughout the year. You shut Clinton Portis down in that running game, take away Cooley and Moss in the passing game, and force somebody else to step up and beat you.
You saw Alexander on his feet being tended to. 2nd down and 8. And penalty marker down. And a false start penalty will be called against the Redskins. Ron Winter and his crew working this afternoon's divisional playoff.
False start. Offense number 76. Penalized after distance to the goal. And 2nd down.
That's John Jansen, and what makes this crowd so tough for the 12th man, and you see 24 opponents' false start penalties, the most of any stadium, is the proximity of the end zone crowd to the goalposts. Word on Sean Alexander, suffering a concussion, questionable as to his return. 2nd down and 13, the ball back on the 5. They go to Portis with blockers, and Portis crosses the 5-yard line, gets 2 yards, and that will bring up 3rd down and long for the Redskins.
The Seahawks don't get a lot of notoriety around the country because they're tucked way up here in the Pacific Northwest, but you start to learn about a Sean Alexander and a Matt Hasselbeck, Walter Jones, some of the high-profile offensive guys. Not a lot of people know any of these defensive guys, but I really feel the reason that they're 13-3 this year and we're able to take that next step is the play of the defense, because this offense for Seattle has always been effective, but this group has really stepped up this season.
And so far a different picture as far as 3rd down conversions. We'll see what happens here. On 3rd and 11, Brunell back in the end zone, can't find a receiver, and will have to go out of bounds. So the Seahawks have kept the Redskins backed up throughout this first quarter. Grant Wistrom chasing Brunell out of bounds, and 4th down coming up after a 2-yard gain.
And Mark Brunell, he used to be a running quarterback early in his career, but now he's a quarterback that runs. He's selective. He can advance the chains, get you a 1st down when he runs, but not like he did when he was early in his career. But he's had some big runs. Seattle knows that. They respect his ability outside the pocket. They've done a good job containing him.
Derek Frost with the kick. And the Seahawks again will be looking at good field position. Jimmy Williams, after waving it off, decided to pick it up on the high bounce and will retrieve it into Redskin territory. Well, the re-signing of Matt Hasselbeck, Sean Alexander, and Walter Jones, the drafting of Tutupu and Hill. They started at 500 at 2-2, but then reeled off 11 wins in a row to the Seahawks. NFC West champions. They clinched home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And Sean Alexander setting an NFL record with 28 touchdowns. He won the rushing title, offensive MVP in the NFL. But the question is the health. He remains on the bench with the concussion, and Maurice Morris is the tailback. 1st down on the 48 of the Redskins. Hasselbeck has completed 4 of 9 for 56 yards. And we'll go to Morris with strong blocking. And Morris pushed out of bounds. And everyone came up, including Ryan Clark, the strong safety.
Well, after that opening first drive by the Seahawks, they had that turnover. They've been out of sync ever since that point. Whether it's in their passing game now with Sean Alexander out, Maurice Morris out there trying to get this running game going. But I've really been impressed with Washington's defense right now. I mean, to play that wild card weekend and perform the way they did against Tampa and come out here against this really explosive offense and play at this level coming all the way across the country. Great start for the Redskin defense.
And that's what they're going to have to rely on today. Empty backfield. And here is Hasselbeck. And Hasselbeck going in reverse, firing it downfield. And the ball is knocked away and nearly intercepted by Ryan Clark. So Hasselbeck threw that up for grabs, trying to get it to Joe Juravicius, but a sea of white uniforms downfield.
A little bit out of sync right now. We talked about Matt Hasselbeck and his decisions. This is one of the things he avoids. He's just got to throw this ball out of bounds. He doesn't need to leave it in the field to play. Very fortunate right there.
Moose, it looks like right now he's a little concerned of them guys getting their hands up in his face with all the tip balls. He has to move around the pocket a little bit to find an open lane, but he can't make throws like that.
And he ought to be concerned with not having Sean Alexander in there as well, Tony. 3rd down and 9 on the Washington 47. The handoff to Strong. And Strong is tackled as a flag comes upfield from the secondary. Strong is stopped by Sean Springs and another injured Seahawk on the field. And it's Darrell Jackson. So Alexander out with a concussion. Don't know about his return. And now Darrell Jackson holding on to his lower back comes off. That was a 2-yard gain.
Just things you cannot anticipate during the course of a football game. The offensive NFL MVP, the rushing champions on the sideline with a concussion. Your top wide receiver just gets back in the lineup, and now he's off to the sideline.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Penalties decline. Makes it 4th down.
So I agree with you, Darrell. The Redskins' defensive effort and the Seahawks have been pretty good, but the Redskins have had to do it with poor field position throughout this first quarter.
Yeah, they've got to have somebody on the offense make a play to get them out of this backed up position on the field that they've been in. They've done consecutive 3 and outs the entire game. They haven't gotten outside their 20 yet. We'll see if the Seahawks punting group can keep them back there.
Tom Ruin again, low kick this time. Antonio Brown with the fair catch. And for the Redskins to have the ball at a 15-yard line, they say this is pretty good. Well, the Redskins season, the big trade for Santana Moss from the New York Jets. Patrick Ramsey got hurt in the opener against the Bears, and then Mark Brunell took over. 3-0 start, including the overtime win against the Seahawks. And after 3 straight losses, they were 5-6. People writing them off, but then 5 straight victories to end the year. And they got that last wild card spot. And, of course, the wild card win against the Buccaneers. And here they are in the divisional playoffs. First down at the 15-yard line. Tight formation, only 1 wide receiver, and that's Moss to the left. Portis. And Portis driving forward, getting into the 20. Picking up 5 with Chuck Darby making the tackle on Portis. Portis shaken up coming into this game with the shoulder injuries, but Joe Gibbs marveling at how tough he was to see him in the game in the 4th quarter last week at Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's been tremendous to watch some of the things that he's worked through. I mean, you saw him in and out of the lineup last week against Tampa Bay. I was really surprised to see him out here this week. He's a tough guy.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter. Surprisingly, when you look at Seattle's offense, a scoreless game. And this Fox NFL divisional playoff will continue after these messages.
When you're on the road, there's only one way to get Windows Mobile powered by broadband access. It's the network. Only Verizon Wireless has the new Trio 700W smartphone, the first Trio to run mobile versions of Microsoft applications just like your PC, all on the nation's largest high-speed wireless broadband network, now at a great price.
Go get him.
Thanks. Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
Accidents happen. Nice to know the all-new Jetta received the top overall crash rating in its class from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. With zero due at signing, you can lease a 2.0 T Value Edition Jetta for only $249 a month on a 39-month lease.
Mark my words, with Randy Moss at the pitcher, it's going to be smooth sailing for the Minnesota Vikings.
Listen, I love the Bears, but we're not winning 3 games this year.
Chad Johnson. Never heard of him.
Man, that Drew Rosenhaus, that guy knows how to manage his athletes. This guy's money. I know, right? I wish he was my agent. Check this out, I wrote this.
The first thing I do is fire Mike Holmgren.
Fox Thursday. Discover the forbidden secret to passion.
I didn't need to hear about that.
Holy Toledo, tell me more about that.
That 70s show, all new on its new night, followed by the OC. It all starts at 8/7 Central, Fox Thursday.
No score as we start the second quarter. Dick Stockton along with Darryl Johnson and Tony Siragusa. Joe Gibbs, third winningest coach playoff-wise in history to Tom Landry and Don Shula. 2nd down and 6 at the 19 for the Redskins. Santana Moss going in motion, the quick to Taylor Jacobs, and he's going to lose yardage. Not well executed. The pass by Brunell was actually thrown behind Jacobs, and it was Bryce Fisher and Dyson on the play, and a loss of 2. And more bad news for the Seahawks. Darrell Jackson suffering a back injury, questionable as to his return. So there you got Alexander and Jackson both hurt in the first quarter.
Yeah, that last play, don't outthink yourself as a Redskin offense. They might be expecting that play to Santana Moss, but he has the ability to make people miss. That's a lot to ask from Taylor Jacobs to go out and run that play that Santana Moss runs so well.
Moss going in motion. And the pass is ruled incomplete. Intended for Clinton Portis and Marquand Manuel defending on the play. Manuel became a starter in week 7 when Ken Hamlin, who was arguably the best defensive back, was hurt in an off-the-field incident.
Are you going to get a blitz, or he's going to come? It's actually Jordan Babineau, 27. There's Marquand Manuel, 33, moving to the outside. Makes the hit right as the ball gets there. You know, they said that this defense wasn't as fast as Tampa Bay. I don't know right now. They're flying around out there.
And Derek Frost with a high kick this time, and bobbling the ball and losing it, and the Redskins may have recovered it. Pearson Prelo has recovered the muff kick by Jimmy Williams, and the Redskins will have their deepest penetration, so to speak, inside the Seahawk 40-yard line.
Well, Joe Gibbs told us that the Redskins, the heart of this group was the special teams. They were defined by their defense. Special teams was the heart, and the offense was the complementary role, and we've seen that all play out this afternoon up until this point. You obviously can see how well the defense has been playing, and special teams is the group that finally changes field position for the Washington Redskins.
First 10 games, minus 13 on the turnover ratio, and you can see why they have won 6 in a row, including the wild card victory. So the Redskins in rarefied air here in Seattle in Seahawk territory. First down at the 39. Brunell with some room and going for Santana Moss, and the pass is out of bounds. And Brunell's toss, Darryl, seemed to float out there after he had beaten the secondary.
I don't think they were dumping those balls in the bucket long enough on that one, Tony. That one looked like it slipped out of his hands.
They should have dunked like 2 or 3 more times, I think. I think it's the weight of the ball also. With this rain out here, it's raining down here pretty good, and the ball's on the ground. The center's got to bring it up. So that ball is constantly in or around water, and the weight, I think, is really making a big difference out here.
You know, Tony, until this year, it never rained in this stadium, and all of a sudden they had a couple of games where they had plenty of it.
It's a big shocker for them with this rain out here.
Cooley going in motion to the right on 2nd and 10 at the 39. Cooley on the reception, working forward and close to the first down, maybe a yard short, as Marcus Tubbs and Michael Boulware in the secondary making the play on Cooley, who had a big year. Talk about the H-backs for the Redskins. Cooley had 7 touchdown catches, and Mike Sellers had 7 as well. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 at the 30. Quarterback sneak by Brunell, and he may have it. And you can see that the Redskins are trying to convert a 3rd down for the first time after going 13 for 18 in the first meeting between these teams in Landover.
The thing I liked about that play was the quick count. I mean, Mark Brunell's walking up the line, and all of a sudden, as soon as he gets under center, the ball is snapped immediately. Kind of caught that Seahawk defense off guard a little bit.
First down of the game, Tony.
That defensive line, that's exactly what they're looking at. They're looking at the quarterback, trying to get a feeling what the play is going to be. When you, exactly right, Dal, when you go and you have that quick count, you don't have time to go get down and get set and get ready. Very effective, especially with that quick count.
In fact, Brunell was even looking to the right, so it really surprised the defensive line. First down for the Redskins on the Seattle 29. Portis. And backing his way to the 25 with Hill and D.D. Lewis, the 2 outside linebackers. Portis picking up 4.
You talk about linebackers as playmakers, but they're also the guys that coordinate the defensive fronts. But as a young guy, Lofa Tatupu, who's a rookie, I mean, he's in there getting everybody set, making sure everybody's in the right spot. He had to move a down lineman over. He had to get Leroy Hill in the right position, and then he's still up there making the tackle.
2nd down and 6. Tatupu really picked up the pro game in a hurry after his year at USC. And Portis diving inside the 25, getting a yard. Clinton Portis in his 2nd year with the Redskins after the big trade involving cornerback Champ Bailey with the Denver Broncos last year. And Leroy Hill is limping off the field.
You know, Darryl, talking about Lofa Tatupu, even when he first came in as a rookie, drawing these guys together, getting that locker room, trying to learn how to motivate the different players on the team. To bring a guy from college and step right in and become a leader as a middle linebacker is a hell of a feat.
3rd down and 5, and the pass caught by Santana Moss, and Moss getting close to the 10-yard line. So the first catch of the day for Moss of 14 yards. Manuel on the tackle, and it's 1st down, and the Redskins threaten.
He wins this route right off his release. You see right there, he gets right in front of Kelly Herndon. Comes in motion a little bit to get a better spot off the ball. Watch him tap his feet right inside. He's got 2 steps, gets the separation for that slant.
So the Redskins now with 1st and 10, just inside the 10, so we'll call it 1st and goal. Clinton Portis. Portis picking up about a yard. Kevin Bentley, the linebacker who replaced the injured Leroy Hill, making the stop, a 1-yard pickup. So Bentley, who started 3 games for D.D. Lewis this season, has had the experience. It'll be 2nd down and goal for the Redskins.
Moose, you talked about Lofa Tatupu. These defensive linemen are not lining up right every time. He's really going and struggling, trying to get these guys lined up. When they come out with 2 tights, I don't think they know, with all this noise out here, exactly where the strength of this defense is.
And the pitch to Portis, and Portis will fight his way for a couple of yards. Marcus Tubbs making the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and goal for Washington. There is John Hall waiting in the wings.
We were at practice on Thursday out at the Seahawks complex, and when you use crowd noise, a lot of times it's for the offense who's coming into a loud stadium, but the defense has to account for that also. There's a lot of communication that goes on for this Seahawks defense out there. They know it's going to be the loudest part of the game when Washington's offense is out, so it may be having an impact on them as well.
First time I ever heard crowd noise for the home team to get the defensive signal. So 3rd and goal at the 7. And Brunell doesn't want to make this a foot race, flips it to the back of the end zone off the hands of Moss, incomplete. Brunell knew that he could not get into the end zone, so he tried to get it to Moss, and Bryce Fisher made it tough for him with the pressure from up front. 4th down coming up, and John Hall will come on.
And Santana Moss, the back of the end zone. Good adjustment right there. He sees his quarterback scrambling. Little scramble drill, breaks back to the outside, gives him an opportunity to try and make a play in the end zone.
So here's John Hall, who missed 6 games this year with a strained quad, a 26-yard attempt. And John Hall has given the Redskins the lead. So they had a high-scoring regular season matchup. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Only 3-0, but Washington's in front.
Introducing the all-new 2007 Chevy Tahoe. With available features like a power remote liftgate, power release fold and tumble second row seats, and rear view camera system. Chevy Tahoe, an American revolution.
Okay, Lindsay, this is the last big one before Torino. You can do this. Don't look at them, look at me. Picture yourself alone on the mound. Imagine yourself on the medal stand. No one can touch you. Try to imagine your Visa check card just got stolen.
I'm good.
Relax. If your Visa check card's lost or stolen, you're not liable for fraudulent charges, and all that money will be put back. Signed with a safe, secure Visa check card.
The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. With Visa's multiple layers of security, you're protected. By TGI Fridays restaurants, everyone could use more Fridays. By State Farm, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Chevrolet, an American revolution.
Overcast and rainy here in Seattle. The Redskins lead the Seahawks 3-0 on John Hall's 26-yard field goal. Redskins had done very well this year, finishing 10-6 against a very tough schedule. They played 10 teams with winning records this year, as opposed to 5 for Seattle, and Hall, who just made the three-pointer, kicking off to Josh Scobie.
And then NFC East was very difficult. You get outside of your division. And then the NFC East was also matched up against the AFC West, which had a heck of a season this year. So this Redskin team is battle-tested. And as you pointed out, Dick, they've been in this playoff situation for the last 6 weeks. You know, you're sitting at 5-6. You've got to win out to even have a shot. So we're starting to see maybe some of that playing in right now. That, you know, they've been in these types of games for a while. And Seattle, on the other hand, they've been on cruise control for a little while. They came out with a great opening drive, but they've been struggling ever since that turnover by.
Well, the Redskins are there with the good coverage. 13-yard return. Jimmy Farris on the tackle. So Matt Hasselbeck and company coming out again.
Bud Light Daredevil.
Today for a Bud Light, I'll attempt a stunt that no man should ever perform. I'll go shopping with my girlfriend during the playoffs.
This stuff is so cute. I'm gonna go try it all on.
Hey, time! Yes! Ted! Oh, he's down! Oh. Ted, can you hear me? He's down. Everybody focus. All right. Get it off. Clear. Let's go. What quarter is it? Third quarter.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
More Americans choose Chevy than any other brand. And now, we just lowered the sticker price on every car, truck, and SUV we sell. Find out more Click on head-to-head at Edmunds.com. America's #1 brand, America's #1 value. Chevy, an American revolution.
All across America. Here they come. NASCAR comes to the California Speedway, February 26th on Fox.
Seahawks with the ball, 3-0. Darrell Jackson, who took a knee to the back, is in the lineup, but Sean Alexander remains on the bench, which is huge for the Seahawks. Hasselbeck looking for a receiver, and it's tipped away and almost picked off by Carlos Rogers. Maurice Morris flaring from the backfield, and very nearly a pick and a score by the rookie Carlos Rogers.
What a great play right there. Matt Hasselbeck holds this a little bit too long. The speed of the secondary players in the NFL, too good to make a throw like that. You waited on it too long. Very fortunate that he didn't have that one going back to the house.
Right now, Matt Hasselbeck looks confused out there. The crispness is not there as it has been. 2nd down and 10. There's the slant, and dropping it is Bobby Ingram. And that brings up 3rd down, and things get a little bit uneasy now. And look how the Redskins are responding down.
Well, you come on the road and you come into a house, they know how loud it's going to be out here. The first thing you got to do is go out and have some success. Omar Stoudemire, he's trying to get the Seahawk crowd to get pumped back up. And that's what you have to do. You have to come out and make a big play earlier in this game. And with Seattle's offense having that good first drive, but turning the ball over and then kind of not doing much, they allowed Washington to make the first big critical play in this game.
Seahawks 1 for 5 on 3rd down attempts. They need 10 yards here. Hasselbeck with time, and the pass is ruled a catch. 1st down, it appears, to Darrell Jackson. And let's see where they spot the ball. Jackson had a dive in there.
I think they got a nice spot on that one.
And right now on that yellow line, which is unofficial, we'll have a timeout for a measurement.
Darrell Jackson releases up the field, comes on a little in route right there, but he's working back to the ball. Thought he was closer to the 35-yard line than he was to the 36.
So Darrell, what does this team do now with Alexander on the sidelines? He's gained 9 yards on 6 carries. Actually, you'd have to say the turning point of this game thus far was the fumble by Alexander.
Please reset the play clock to 31 seconds.
Alexander fumbled on the Redskin 10 when it looked like the Seahawks were going in. And it is a 1st down for Seattle.
We go back and take a look at it. The tip pass by Sean Taylor was the play right before that fumble. So an almost touchdown by the Seahawks turns into a turnover. Sean Alexander with a big hit. He's got a concussion right now. Then Darrell Jackson went out with a knee to the back. But there's the big play of the game. The muff punt recovered by Pearson Prelo gave the Redskin offense great field position for the first time.
And Maurice Morris, who came in the game as the 2nd leading rusher for the Seahawks at 288 yards. So you know that he wasn't a big factor, picking up 1 yard. Joe Salavea making the tackle, and there you see with the cape and the hood on is Alexander. So all of a sudden you have to ad-lib and go to plan B when your big star looks sideline, and who knows if he'll get back.
Well, the good thing is they've got a good passing attack. Matt Hasselbeck just has to settle down, keep playing the way he's played all season, and have the faith in Maurice Morris that he can come in and do a good job.
2nd down and 9, backpedaling, and the pass is caught. Great catch by Darrell Jackson, who after coming back from being shaken up has made a couple of good grabs. That for 8 yards to the 45-yard line, shy of the 1st.
Well, they are really disrupting the timing of this Seahawk offense. They're getting Matt Hasselbeck off the spot. He is not comfortable in the pocket. He has to continually move. Darrell Jackson has made some good plays down the field, getting some receptions when these plays have been broken down.
But I don't think the Seattle Seahawks can do much without a running game. If all Hasselbeck wants to do is throw, he'll be playing into the Redskins game. This will be a running attempt to Maurice Morris, and he'll get the 1st down. Tough yards for Morris, picks up 2, and moving the sticks are the Seahawks.
And I don't think a team does a better job at making adjustments during the course of the game than the Redskins. Now, this is down on their sideline in the booth. The photos are coming down from the top, and not only do they look at them, but they diagram what the play was supposed to look like by what the defensive call was. They're critiquing the guys on their technique, because technique is very important today, even though Sean Alexander's not in there to stop this running game.
Play action on first down. And Hasselbeck running and close to the first down. So Matt Hasselbeck, who ran 36 times this year, gets 9 yards plus, very close to the first down, into Redskin territory at the 43.
Maybe not so much as important as what does Seattle do now with Sean Alexander on the sideline, but what does Greg Williams do right now? And he was worried about that running game and wasn't going to bring pressure. We saw that at the beginning of the game. He played more coverage. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Redskins start to bring some pressure.
Maurice Morris will run for his second first down to the 40-yard line. Gain of 4 with Washington on the tackle. So now it looks like the running game, whatever the Seahawks can manage, in the hands of Maurice Morris.
And here comes that crowd again. They're getting revved up. Tony, time to turn the dogs loose, though, on that defense.
Yeah, they got to get them going, man. They got to get a little bit more pressure down there. They can't be complacent with just getting their hands up. They have to get pressure on Matt, or he's just going to sit back there, gain more confidence, and get better as time goes on.
First down on the Redskin 40. Nearly 5.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. They go play action again. And Hasselbeck fakes the pass and slides. And Hasselbeck inside the 35-yard line gets 7 yards. Marshall again on the tackle. So Brunell came in as the running quarterback, so to speak, but it's been Hasselbeck here.
Yeah, he has really improvised well up until this point, and we've talked about his decision-making, you know, through this part of the season. He's not putting the ball. He made that one throw earlier in the game that wasn't a good decision, but besides that, he's pulled the ball down and got some positive yards when the play is broken down. He's not making throws into bad areas.
And he's gained 17 yards on 3 attempts. Second and 3 at the 33. Here's Morris, slowed up, and he won't get to the first down. And it was Cedric Killings and Sean Taylor combined to make the play on Maurice Morris in his 4th year out of the University of Oregon.
The big thing to this defense, you know, the deflections right there. Sean Taylor in the secondary. That was the bad decision by Matt Hasselbeck there. A missed opportunity by Carlos Rogers. That was 7 points for this Redskins defense, which has been putting up some points the last few weeks as a group.
But Seattle doing a good job of moving the ball here. This is their third and short opportunity. They need one. And here's Morris. He's got it. First down inside the Redskin 30.
If you have 10 guys in the box up on the line of scrimmage or linebackers up, you cannot let them go and get a first down on a play like that. Nice job by Morris.
And not only that, they know where they're going. They're going left. If it's a critical play in the game, they're going to get in behind Walter Jones, Steve Hutchinson, send Max Strong in there ahead of the pack.
Pro Bowl and all-pro left side of the offensive line. So here's the rushing story. Hasselbeck leads the way. Morris is second. And a first down at the 29-yard line. Play action. And going deep for Jackson. Touchdown.
What a great throw by Matt Hasselbeck. Down the field, watch where this ball is thrown. It's thrown low to the outside. Ryan Clark doesn't have a chance to make a play on that ball. A last-second adjustment by Darrell Jackson.
Josh Brown looking to give the Seahawks a 7-3 lead, and this crowd very much back in the game after they were rendered very anxious with the injury to Sean Alexander. But Morris has run well, and how about the catches made by Darrell Jackson? All tough ones on this drive. Seattle by 4.
You have a prototype, they have a prototype. You have overseas suppliers, they have overseas suppliers. You have low-cost manufacturing, they have low-cost manufacturing. You have packaging, They have packaging. You have an ad agency. They have an ad agency. You have a supply chain that flies through customs, bypasses warehouses, and gets your product on the shelves faster. They have a new ad agency.
What would you change about your full-size truck?
Change the way the door opened.
Probably more room in the back, a little bit more leg room.
Kind of hard to get out of the back side because the doors are not big enough.
We couldn't change their trucks, so we introduced ours, the full-size Nissan Titan. Now with $2,500 cash back or 2% financing. See your Nissan dealer and check out the Titan's wide-open rear doors and big interior.
It opens all the way. This is a whole lot easier. Wow, I didn't know it opened that big.
This is roomy now.
Find something to hold on to, because the non-stop season of 24 is about to begin. From January straight through May.
Who are you?
Someone who's not supposed to still be alive.
A heart-stopping new episode every week.
Get help!
The only place to see the new season of 24 is on Fox.
We're not gonna make it. Get out now!
24, the two-night premiere event, begins at 8, 7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world.
Darryl, the Seahawks had to be discouraged. They lose Alexander, they lose Jackson. They're faced with Morris. Jackson then comes back, makes big plays. Boy, did he lift this team.
Well, he lifted the team, but Matt Hasselbeck was the key on that drive. Some good decisions, pulling the ball down, threw the ball well. And that's the thing about this Seahawks offense. They've got Sean Alexander, but that's not the only weapon they have in this group. Matt Hasselbeck has had a heck of a season, and he's got some playmakers on the outside.
And he's run for 17 yards, and the kickoff returned by Liddell Betts. Straight ahead, protecting the football as Betts does not get to the 30-yard line. So Hasselbeck making it happen with his feet and his arms. 7-3, the Seahawks lead. 3:13 to go in the half.
Sure, the Nissan Altima is attractive, but we just turned up the heat. Introducing the 2006 Nissan Altima Special Edition Package. 15 of our most popular options. Now, lease the Nissan Altima with the Special Edition Package for $209 per month. $209 per month. Did it just get hot in here?
Hey, Teddy, I hate to bother you. You sent my melon to Peyton, P-E-Y.
Groceries, $41.
That's awesome, man. Charlie!
Oil change, $25.
Good too. Decaf!
Lunch,
Decaf!
$12.
Great shift today, guys. Nice salad bar.
Your favorite players,
Yes.
priceless.
Yes. Yes!
There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
You signed the bread to my little brother. He loves you.
People everywhere experiencing a breakthrough. New to the Big Bell Value Menu, the half-pound cheesy bean and rice burrito topped with a cheesy, zesty kick. To get full-on value, think outside the bun. Once a year, we get to experience the thrill of a lifetime.
I made it, Mom.
Once a year, we get to live the American dream.
You've now proven you're the one to beat in this competition.
And once a year, your vote will turn an unknown into a superstar.
I will buy you a record today.
Now, that time is about to begin.
Is our next American Idol among us today?
The dream is back. American Idol returns at 8/7 Central, Fox, Tuesday.
Celebs hit the ice hard. Skating with Celebrities premieres at 9, 8 Central, Fox, Wednesday.
Seahawks dominating the statistics, but the Redskins capitalizing on the turnover. The muff punt return by Williams and getting their 3 points. They'll start from their 29-yard line. Fake to Portis, and the pass is caught by Taylor Jacobs. And the Redskins were hoping they would get someone to step up with the injury to James Thrash and David Patton going out in Week 11. That was a 16-yard gain.
Now he's coming all the way across the field to get into that middle tier on this bootleg. Watch the play at the end. Get down, get yourself safe. Michael Boulware coming up to put a big hit on him. That's why he was jawing with him at the end of that play.
And Leroy Hill, who was shaken up at linebacker, the rookie back in there for the Seahawks. First down, Portis doesn't get much. And Rocky Bernard is there to stop the running play after a yard and a half.
Well, it has been tough sledding for both of these teams in the run game. Both of these defenses doing a good job shutting down the running game. And you wonder, Washington, they're going to have to open it up. I know that that's been the recipe for success on this winning streak, but it looks as though their best opportunities today are going to be through the air.
So even without Alexander, Seattle has the little lead there in rushing. Bigger lead in the passing department. 2nd down and 8 on the 47 of the Redskins. Brunell wants to throw, gets chased, and off balance completes to Royal, the tight end, and he slips and is down at the 40-yard line. Great pressure that time by the Seattle defense. A loss of 6, led by Bryce Fisher. Down to the 2-minute warning here in Seattle, with the Seahawks leading the Redskins 7-3.
The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL and Super Bowl 40.
If you haven't tried Coors in a while, you may have forgotten how cold and refreshing a Rocky Mountain beer can taste. So crack one open and refresh your memory.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado.
How much you got? Not much. What can we get?
Well, in a young man's
We're ready to order.
Get more Fridays for less. Our 3-course menu is back for just $12.99. Everyone could use more Fridays.
Black 58 Razor! Red 58 Razor!
Here's Hasselbeck, big spot in the game. He's looking.
No one can do it all alone. Not even the NFL and United Way. We've been strengthening America's communities for over 30 years now, and we could really use your help. How about giving us a hand? Volunteer at unitedway.org.
Hey, we got a new mascot?
There's an easier way to get the gear the pros wear. Call 1-877-NFL-SHOP for a free team catalog or log on to nflshop.com.
2-minute warning with 1:58 on the clock. And the Seahawks in front 7-3. It'll be 3rd down and 14. And how about that Seattle defense? Brunell 6 of 12 for only 36 yards. Clinton Portis' longest one is 4 yards, just averaging 2 per carry.
Not a lot of big individual stars in this group, but they play well together.
Ladell Betts standing next to Brunell on 3rd and 14 on the Redskin 41. Brunell looking downfield. Up for grabs, and the ball is knocked away. Penalty marker there. Jimmy Farris, who was inactive the last 3 games, and Lofa Tatupu downfield, and a flag comes down. That ball hung out there, and the question is, were the Seahawks playing the ball or not?
Seahawk players are reacting like it's against the Redskins.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 86. Penalties decline. It's a 4th down.
Jimmy Farris coming from the outside, a double move. Look at that. Lofa Tatupu, number 51, the linebacker, all the way downfield on the wide receiver. I don't know. I didn't see anything there.
I did not see a push on Lofa Tatupu.
I didn't see Jimmy Farris do anything either.
That's what I mean. Apparently he had pushed Tatupu, who was defending him. So 4th down. In any event, Derek Frost will be kicking, and Jimmy Williams going back for the Seahawks. Good high kick. And the fair catch by Williams, who had a costly turnover at the 21-yard line. Well, coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have highlights and analysis of the first half, and the Fox Sports ticker has up to the second stats as well. Don't forget, tomorrow, Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears tangle on Fox in the other NFC divisional playoff game. Last 2 minutes of either half, Matt Hasselbeck has been off the charts this year.
Yeah, that's another area where you see the chemistry of a group come through, and Matt Hasselbeck, very comfortable in this system, played together with several of these guys for many years now, and those 2-minute situations, it's another area where that shows up.
3 timeouts for both teams. And a quick pass out to Darrell Jackson. And Jackson will have to settle for a 2-yard gain thanks to Pearson Prelo, who made a big recovery on the muff, which set up the field goal for Washington. That was a 2-yard gain there.
And Darrell Jackson, he apologizing to Matt Hasselbeck right there. You play against the Redskins defense. You don't want to lose too much ground when you're trying to avoid a tackler.
This Seattle team really had its struggles against NFC East teams at home this year, beating the Cowboys on their last-second field goal and the Giants in overtime. Big opening that time for Maurice Morris, and he may have the first down. Evans and Stoutmeyer on the tackle.
Looks like we had a fumble at the end of this play. Seattle very fortunate to get it back. Following in behind Max Strong, gets him some room to the outside. Demetric Evans hustling downfield. Looks like he knocked that out at the end. And Walter Jones he wasn't going downfield. Walter Jones took him downfield.
And hurry up on 3rd and 1. And here is Morris going outside, diving, and loses yardage. And Carlos Rogers, who very nearly had an interception, for a touchdown with a very alert play. And it'll be 4th down and a loss and timeout called by Washington.
Great pursuit by this Redskin defense. Oh, it looked like Maurice Morris was going to have an opportunity to move the chains, but boy, he had 2-3 defenders coming at him. He couldn't get away from everybody.
So a loss of 1 with 29 seconds remaining in the first half. And it's notable is the fact that Sean Alexander suffering a concussion and leaving things in the hands of Matt Hasselbeck, who has rushed for 17 yards and threw a 29-yard touchdown pass to Darrell Jackson for the lead. 4th and 2. Tom Ruin will be kicking. Antonio Brown going deep for the Redskins. Line drive kick. And will drop inside the 35-yard line and will roll all the way to the 30. 18 seconds on the clock. So it turned out to be a 41-yard punt, and Joe Gibbs with Mark Brunell to discuss how to play these last 18 seconds.
I figure they'd have to gain about 30 yards in those 18 seconds to give John Hall a shot at that field goal.
They do have the timeouts in their pocket should they go that route. They come out with 3 wide receivers and out of the shotgun. Brunell going underneath and getting hit immediately is Liddell Betts by Lofa Tatupu. Hard hit and a gain of 3. And the clock stopping with 12 seconds to go as the Redskins call their second timeout.
I think Liddell Betts wants him to take a knee on this next play. Watch this. Man.
He's definitely going to talk to Mark Brunell about throwing this pass, Moose.
Lofa Tatupu leading the team in tackles.
I mean, doing everything on the sacks, the interceptions. I mean, he's a playmaker. You can't say enough about a young guy coming into the NFL, and I mean, just so inspirational to everybody. I mean, to coordinate the defense, but then have the production. I mean, he does everything as a first-year player.
And that's been the big change, Darrell, in the Seattle defense. All 3 of the linebackers who started from last year no longer with the team. Chad Brown, Orlando Huff, Anthony Simmons all gone. 2 rookies manning it now with D.D. Lewis III. 2nd down and 8. And they're not going to take a knee, apparently. Out of the shotgun again is Brunell. Brunell drilling it, incomplete, going to Moss. And he was covered by Trufant. And Moss is slow getting up, and I guess you can trust a veteran quarterback not to make the big mistake, and that's what Gibbs has in Brunell.
Yeah, you can never underappreciate the experience that they've had playing in games like this, and Santana Moss is a little nicked up on that going to the sideline, but you kind of saw it last weekend in the wild card round. You know, it was all the veteran quarterbacks that came out on top last week. It was the running backs pretty much the majority of the season that were defining the offenses. But last week in that wild card round, it was the quarterback stepping up.
6 seconds remaining in the first half. 3rd down and 8. Handoff to Liddell Betts. And Betts will be stopped at the 40 as time will run out. So an early field goal off a turnover by John Hall after a scoreless first quarter. Matt Hasselbeck capping a 74-yard drive with a 29-yard touchdown pass to Darrell Jackson. Seahawks 7, Redskins 3. The Fox NFL Divisional Playoff continues with the Visa halftime report.
All across America, here they come. The greatest thrill ride in sports is back. NASCAR comes to the California Speedway, February 26th on Fox.
Here's Michael at the foul line. He shoots over Reno. No good. Michael misses. Cleveland wins. They're waving Giambi around.
If you're a fraction off, it can change everything. On the field and in the lab, where Gatorade scientists test and retest athletes so we know exactly what their bodies demand. Precision counts. Out there and in here.
The all-new 2007 Chevy Tahoe, with the best combination of power and fuel efficiency in its class and room for up to 9. Nobody gets left behind. Chevy Tahoe, an American revolution.
Guys, come on. We've been over this a million times.
Pencil neck, pigtail. At least I don't need salt. Salt is for suckers.
Hey, I'm not saying I like one fry better than another. It's just for a limited time. When guests buy a combo, they can upgrade to seasoned curly fries for free.
Corkscrew.
Sucker!
Don't make me get out my bag.
Stop it! This free fry swap is for a limited time, so I expect you to behave like professional potatoes.
Mr. Box needs a vacation.
Thousands of truck buyers are finding out that Toyota Tundra delivers.
My truck's my livelihood. And if it ain't working, I ain't making money. That's why I bought the Tundra.
It got tremendous gas mileage for a pickup of that size and power.
Take $1,500 cash back on the new 06 Tundra. Save with 0 APR for 60 months or lease for just $259 a month for 36 months with $259 due. Toyota, moving forward.
Fox Sports Extra, Sundays at 10 on Fox 26.
The Visa Halftime Report is sponsored by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. With Visa's multiple layers of security, you're protected.
Despite a back injury early in the game, Darrell Jackson comes back in strong for Seattle. Nice pass from Matt Hasselbeck. The only touchdown of the half. Seattle on top of Washington, 7-3, looking to move on with his first playoff victory since 1984 as we welcome you here. Studio 2A, and Howie, I know you were talking about the defense of Seattle looking good.
Well, as prolific as the offensive minds are in this football game, certainly they are. Mike Holmgren, Joe Gibbs. It's the defenses once again. Washington and Tampa Bay we saw last week, but Seattle this week, a surprise, really. The job that John Marshall's done and Ray Rhodes has done there. We know about Greg Williams and Greg Blosch, but this defense is flying around.
Yeah, we expected this out of Washington, especially, with Seattle not having Sean Alexander. But you look at Washington, the first time offensively against Seattle, they were 13 of 18 on third down. Best in the NFL this year. Today, they're 2 for 10 on third down. They're not moving the football. Seattle's defense playing great.
Yeah, the only difference is blitzes first time. We're not seeing the blitzes this time because of the conditions of the field and turnovers. Boy, they're going to play huge, don't you think?
Yeah, you wanted to talk about that in the pregame.
Although he didn't get it in, Terry will now embellish us with the highlights. Go ahead.
I sure want to talk about those turnovers in this football game.
But I'm going to talk about the Seattle fans. Seattle, Jimmy, look at them. They're excited. Someone told them we got a playoff in town. Sean Alexander, current reigning MVP, fumbled this football. Beautiful drive by Seattle. Marshall there recovers for the Skins. Alexander down. Cornelius Griffiths hits him hard, has to leave this football game, concussion, pending whether or not he will return in the second half. So, going on to the second quarter, Jimmy Williams muffs this punt. I meant to say, turnovers play a huge part in the playoff game, especially as you have bad field condition prelude there. As you see, John Hall's field goal gives them a 3-0 at Skins lead, and then almost Hasselbeck pass. Carlos Rogers steps in front, can't make the interception. Big break, though, for Seattle. Back comes a beautiful throw to Darrell Jackson. This ball was actually thrown back to the blind side, giving Jackson the only one opportunity to make that catch. Touchdown, 7-3 Seahawks over the Redskins at the half.
And just so that my English teacher won't call up and say, JB, we can't be embellished with the highlights. The points were being embellished with highlights. All right, there is another game coming up later. It'll be the New England Patriots, the defending Patriots, Super Bowl champions, taking on Denver at home. Bill Moss caught up with Jake Plummer just a few moments ago. Well, you trust me, Bill Moss does have an interview with Jake Plummer, and I promise you it'll be right here now.
Outside the locker room of the Denver Broncos with Jake Plummer just arrived. And Jake, your feelings?
I'm excited, you know. There's a lot of fans out there, more than normal, and their excitement, I really didn't know what to think till I got here, and kind of got a little excited walking through there. But, you know, it's another game. We're trying to stay focused, stay down a little bit, and go out there and play our style of football. Hopefully comes out with a win.
Last night in the team meeting, what was the overall feeling of the head coach and the team?
Just like I said, you know, Coach preached just to treat it like another game. We played well all year, and we weren't 13-3 by accident. And you know, we played some good ball clubs, and we got a very good ball club here today at home. And I know it's going to take all we got to get a win, but we're excited. You know, Coach is excited, and we're not changing the way we approach anything all year. We're going out to play Bronco football, and hopefully that translates to a win.
Good luck, my man.
Thanks,
have a good one.
All right.
JB. That's Jake Plummer. He seems ready to go. Back to you guys at the studio.
It's so nice to see Terry Bradshaw animated about Jake Plummer.
No, Jake's excited.
But besides the fact that he is animated, you say this is a statement opportunity for him.
Dude,
I know
that
Tom Brady of New England, I know he can carry a football team without his running game. We've seen it all year long. I'm uncertain as whether or not Jake can do that. Jake's had a great year, but Jake has relied on his running game to set up his passing. We will have to find out if that's that, because I know they're going to take New England's going to take away Denver's running game.
A lot of it comes off the bootlegs to his right-hand side, ball-hand side. Expect to see blitzes maybe coming from that side.
Fellas, what's the vote as far as Jimmy Johnson's hair is concerned? What's the vote?
Little
yes
Howie
or
liked
no?
it.
We took too
Little
much
Howie
time.
liked it.
Hey, let's
Terry,
talk about Jake's hair. Jake looks like he needs to go bear hunting.
Dude,
over
where's my car?
15,000 votes. 2-1. Jimmy Johnson ought to stay with the spiked hairdo. The question is, what does Rhonda
play
think?
foxball here.
Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL.
I never thought anything like this could ever happen. I started to believe that a guy like me could actually get a second chance. I have to finish this. No! This is insane.
You're going to tell us what you've been doing here?
Understand this, Bill. I don't work for you.
24, the two-night premiere event begins at 8, 7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Bones is all new on an all-new night, Fox Wednesday.
I give them a face, and you arrest the bad guy. I like that.
So do I. Based on the real-life story of forensic anthropologist Kathy Reichs.
FBI, U.S. Marshals, forensic anthropologist. That's why I know guns.
Emily Deschanel. David Boreanaz. Bones on a new night, Wednesday, January 25th at 9/8 Central, right after American Idol on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
Did you know the NFL is about more than games on Sunday? They're about kids every day. In Super Bowl host cities across the country, the NFL has built community centers called Youth Education Towns, where kids like us can go to get help with homework, learn about computers, play sports, and do lots of fun stuff with friends. We may be kids now, but we're the leaders of tomorrow. NFL Youth Education Towns, building brighter futures for America's children.
At halftime, the Seahawks lead the Redskins 7-3, and we'll return to Seattle for the start of the second half after a look at the first half and these messages from your local Fox station.
Well, this is it now. Everybody get down. This is all I can take. This is how a heart breaks. You take a hit now. You feel it break down. Make you stay wide awake. This is how a heart breaks.
Smith and the Panthers battle Urlacher and the Bears. Tomorrow on Fox, America's most watched NFL network.
Let's go back to the presentation. Okay. Okay, now
Something's not moving very well on the test. This is due to a stall.
Wherever you want to go, the Acura RL. Something different is happening at Golden Corral. Every night on the buffet, you can enjoy a different home-style dinner, different than the night before. And Saturday night is Steak and Steak Saturday at Golden Corral. Tender grilled sirloin steak, chop steak, and chicken fried steak. Plus toppings like grilled onions and béarnaise sauce. It's Steak and Steak Saturday.
Golden Corral. Everyone deserves a good meal every day.
The savings add up at McDonald's, especially now that you can get 2 juicy Quarter Pounder with cheese sandwiches for just $2.62.
Tax tips for hurricane evacuees.
Monday on Fox 26 Morning News.
Just in time for Super Bowl 40 comes the ultimate football DVD. The greatest Super Bowl moments with 3 hours of NFL action and interviews with the legends that made Super Bowl history. You'll see highlights of every Super Bowl, from Vince Lombardi and the Packers of the 60s through the New England Patriots' modern dynasty. A great gift for any football fan this holiday season. The greatest Super Bowl moments is available now everywhere DVDs are sold.
And back here in Seattle, where the rain continues to fall, just a steady rain. The Seahawks leading the Redskins 7-3 as we get set for the third quarter. Redskins have rushed for 36 yards rushing. Clinton Portis, 24 yards on 12 carries. Longest gain has been 4. And unlike the first time they met, the third down conversion magic isn't working for the Redskins thus far.
No, not at all. Not at all. But they're still generating those turnovers. That Washington defense, their special teams contributed one today. So that has been the other part of that recipe for success down the stretch for the Redskins, and they've continued that this afternoon.
And Howie Long made a great point that is that the Redskins, who were paltry on offense last week in Tampa Bay, having problems here, but the Seattle defense, everyone talked about their attack, their defense, many new faces, young players, quick players, and they have been a bit factor thus far. Josh Brown kicking off to Liddell Betts to start the second half. And Betts is hit as he gets to the 30-yard line. Let's go down to Tony.
Hey guys, how are you? I talked to Greg Williams as they were going in. He said his #1 priority, the defense has to attack the ball, give their offense a short field. Mike Holmgren said it's on Matt Hasselbeck's shoulders now. He talked to him at halftime. He says he doesn't have a great running game. He's going to have to go downfield a little bit more. I also did find out Sean Alexander will not return. He is out for the remainder of the game.
That is huge news, Tony. So Matt Morris will be the running back and not Alexander. But meanwhile, the Redskins on attack, and Brunell gets hit as he throws the ball out of bounds. Santana Moss was the intended receiver, and Grant Wistrom put the pressure on. There you see in the first half total yards in the wild card game against Tampa Bay, 78. Even less so far today.
Yeah, that number went down last week in the second half. And, you know, I thought coming into this that Washington would do better offensively because that Tampa Bay defense, #1 in the NFL in yards, very good. You didn't expect Seattle to play this well, but this offense has continued to struggle in the playoffs.
2nd and 10 at the 30. Seahawks starting to put pressure on Brunell a lot more. Here is Clinton Portis working his way out, and Portis with his best run of the game gets 7 yards. Kelly Herndon, by the way, has replaced Andre Dyson at cornerback. Dyson, who missed the last 4 games with a high ankle sprain. And there you see Jordan Babineau, who is also in the game at cornerback as well. So they're playing 5 corners. Right now, Herndon comes out on 3rd and 4. Marquand Manuel, the free safety. Again, a tight formation. From the 37. Brunell's pass, and over the hands of Chris Cooley. The pass overthrown, and that will bring up 4th down.
You see how tight this formation is, right? Look at all the players are in. When you condense your formation, you've got everybody in tight. It's hard to find those openings in the zone. Chris Cooley does a good job, drifts to the outside, then sneaks back behind Lofa Tatupu, but he can't pull it in for the catch.
So Derek Frost will be kicking for the 7th time today. Jimmy Williams coming up will let the ball bounce at the 30. And it takes a Redskin roll and goes out of bounds. Puget Sound here in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle. They've had rain nearly a month.
Andrew just installed a webcam so I can watch Daddy all day long. Come check it out. All right. It's really cool.
Ooh, she's so precious. Oh. Oh, that's not Dottie.
Oh, the hair. Oh.
Want to get away? Now you can. With Southwest Airlines Internet specials, you can fly to 61 destinations coast to coast for just $49 to $159. Purchased by January 23rd.
You are now free to move about the country.
It's built for power. It's built for durability. It's built for strength. And it's ranked highest in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. Ford F-150, built with innovation, built Ford tough. Lease an F-150 XLT Super Crew for just $299 per month.
2 shows that redefine a generation are together on one night. The new Fox Thursday. First, on That 70s Show, has your love life lost its fire? Then discover the secret to passion.
I didn't need to hear about that.
Holy Toledo, tell me more about that.
Then, the OC's got a new time, and a new bad girl comes to town.
Be careful with that girl.
You won't believe what happens next.
We can't give in to threats like that.
The OC after That 70s Show. All new on the new Fox Thursday.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 40.
Seahawks with their first possession of the second half, first down on the 19. Hasselbeck's pass to Jeremy Stevens in the tight end with his first grab of the game. Who knew, Darryl, that we'd be seeing a game that we would expect tomorrow with the Carolina-Chicago game, but not this one?
No, we didn't expect this to be the case today. And here's one of the reasons why. You look at some of these names that are out. I mean, obviously, Sean Alexander at the top. Darrell Jackson's come back in, but he's got a knee in the back. He got Dyson, who's questionable. Leroy Hill went out, but he's back in. But Sean Alexander, that's going to be a tough one for this group to overcome.
Maurice Morris straight ahead for the first down. If you're wondering about Morris, he has had a big game this year. Gained 104 yards against the Houston Texans. And another injury on the field.
Walter Jones, my goodness. I mean, how many more high-profile guys for the Seahawks can we take go down today?
And this is the team that got the bye, that had the week off. And they got healthy. They were, for the first time, really pleased that they were able to get a lot of their players back in action, such as Andre Dyson, who since has gone out, and many of the others. But there you see Walter Jones leading the game, and Floyd Womack, number 77, replaces him. Who's a favorite receiver for Hasselbeck? Obviously, it's Jackson, who has caught 7 of the 9 passes thrown by Matt Hasselbeck. First down at the Seattle 32. Play action. Pass caught by Stevens and ridden out of bounds by Ryan Clark. So Jeremy Stevens with a 4-yard gain, and he has an 8-inch height advantage on Ryan Clark. So that could be somewhere for Hasselbeck to go. Jeremy Stevens finally coming through this year after a couple of questionable seasons.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to get him involved in this offense right now. With Sean Alexander down, if the game is on Matt Hasselbeck's hands, like Tony talked about, then these other guys have to start being more productive in the passing. And Jeremy Stevens, you know, he's had 2 catches so far early in the second half, but he needs some more down the field.
Second down and 6, and a flag is down, and they wanted to go again to Stevens downfield, but a penalty marker is thrown. They ignored Stevens in the first half, and then all of a sudden a steady diet, and the preliminary signal is that it's against the Redskins.
Illegal contact. Defense number 98. A 5-yard penalty on a first down.
So Lamar Marshall's penalty gives the Seahawks a big first down.
And probably on Jeremy Stevens. He releases, he comes up. There's the contact right there beyond the 5 yards, just enough to get him off that route, though. You saw that ball was just barely thrown beyond his grasp. So that illegal contact, the reason for the incompletion.
Greg Williams dialing up the defenses. Of course, he will remain in Washington with a very healthy contract after being moved by many teams. Hasselbeck losing the ball, picking it up and still trying to make a play, and going downfield to Ingram, and the ball is knocked away. Very nearly made a heroic play to make up for the bobble, and Ingram was covered by Clark and Taylor downfield, but Hasselbeck, great awareness and ad-libbing after losing the ball.
What great defense by Ryan Clark and Sean Taylor, because normally you would be running up to the line of scrimmage on this. The quarterback fumbles it back. When I looked up and saw Bobby Ingram down, I was surprised to see some defenders with him, because you're never thinking that the quarterback's going to do that. And then again, Sean Taylor, boy, he's made some athletic plays. He had that great deflection in the end zone on that opening drive, but he's been putting some big hits on people.
And Ingram really timed it, had his hands on the ball, very nearly made the catch.
Great discipline by Seattle, too, because you would have expected somebody to be down the field.
The first action by the quarterback was a forward pass, incomplete. Please reset the game clock to 12:17.
So they'll add 5 seconds.
Saying that was an incomplete pass on that first attempt, so no fumble there. So even the heroic effort by Matt Hasselbeck and Bobby Ingram would have gone for naught.
Meanwhile, Walter Jones, who's gone a 6th straight Pro Bowl, has come back in the game at left tackle for the Seahawks. 2nd and 10 at the 41 of Seattle. Hand off to Maurice Morris. Morris with the burst straight ahead, close to midfield, short of the first down by about 3.5 yards. Lamar Marshall on the tackle. So Morris trying to give the Seahawks a running dimension without Sean Alexander, who came out of the game with a concussion in the first quarter.
You see, this has been a defensive battle. 12 punts, 11 3 and outs. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Sure we're not at a Bears game.
It sure seems like we're in the wrong city.
3rd down and 3 at the 48. Coming up for a possible blitz. It's Sean Taylor. Meanwhile, time, and the catch by Joe Jurevicius. Hasselbeck had enough time. Great blitz pickup that time, and Juravicius with a 31-yard catch down to the 21-yard line of the Redskins.
What great ad-lib by Matt Hasselbeck and Joe Juravicius, because this is a guy who's completely covered. Watch Matt Hasselbeck. He directs him right there. This is not a double move. That was Carlos Rogers with great coverage on Joe Juravicius, and they improvise in the middle of the play. He's going to run a hitch. No, go. Just turn around and go.
And Rogers tried to jump that route, and the first catch of the day by Juravicius, who had 10 TD receptions this year. First down, and rolling out is Hasselbeck. His pass is caught by Darrell Jackson, close to the first down. Sean Taylor on the tackle. They had to get to about the 10-yard line for another first down. So once again, the Seahawks on the arm of Matt Hasselbeck, threatening, leading 7-3.
I'm really surprised that Greg Williams hasn't adjusted to bringing more of that pressure that Redskin defense is so known for. I mean, the big concern was Sean Alexander in the running game. I figured once he was out that you would see a change in his approach, but we still haven't seen that yet up to this point.
Meanwhile, Jackson has caught 8 passes for 106 yards and the touchdown. Handoff to Morris. Morris finally dumped at about the 6-yard line. 5-yard pickup. Carlos Rogers making the tackle. So this team is rising to the occasion without Sean Alexander, the offensive MVP in the NFL. He's one of the big reasons why.
Well, this is why I think that Seattle is in a different place than they have been the last couple of years. They have been a team that we had high expectations for, and they've kind of let us down when they've got to the playoffs. But there's something different about this team this year. There's a better approach. They enjoy each other's company. The chemistry of this team, they're able to overcome adversity like they're facing this afternoon.
Second down from the 5, and the ball is tipped again. And incomplete. So
Joe Salavea does a great job of getting penetration, has 2 guys on him, reaches up and blocks that pass right there. Nice job by Joe.
It's just amazing how they can get their hands on all these passes, the timing of them, and the ability to get the hands up right in the throwing lanes of the quarterback. As Tony pointed out, he's double teamed, but he still knows to get his hand up, and he's right in the line of sight of Matt Hasselbeck.
The big difference I see, Moose, is they're getting a pass rush now. They're just not staying on the line of scrimmage, you know, trying to push the guy and get their hands up. They're actually getting penetration and putting pressure on Matt Hasselbeck.
Third down from the 5. Hasselbeck running from the pocket, will try to make it in there. He'll get the first down. He'll get the touchdown. And Alexander leads the cheers. Matt Hasselbeck with a 6-yard run for the score.
That's one happy kid right there.
Well, they threw the game on his shoulders in the second half. He responded with this touchdown drive. He has matured so much in the last few years. As a quarterback, actually as a person, I believe.
There's a player down, Sean Spring on the far sideline, guys.
Sean Springs, who probably had the best shot at Hasselbeck going into the corner, being helped up. Springs did not play against the Buccaneers last week. And Matt Hasselbeck with a big smile, his first career postseason touchdown. So he has thrown one and run one. And now Josh Brown looking to give the Seahawks an 11-point advantage. Mike Holmgren, an offensive mind, going against the defensive Greg Williams. As Brown hits the extra point, 14-3. It's Seattle's defense, the headliner. 14-3, Seahawks lead. We'll be right back.
Our belief is that 4 wheels should turn heads, that their might should be matched by none, that less of an impact can be the biggest impact of all. And when you think beyond tradition, the world will notice. That's the thinking behind the Oval. So to get you behind the Oval, you can get select Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, and the first payment is on us. Ford, built for the road ahead.
is going all out, bringing the new 36-piece BK chicken fries box to your big old pigskin party.
Dad, I see packages coming in from Shanghai today.
Yeah, Oracle, I know. 200 and 80 from Portland tomorrow morning.
What?
It's UPS. See, now I get a detailed report of all their shipments coming in.
Huh.
I've already notified production and alerted sales.
Well, I can't compete with that.
Yeah, that's why you're being reassigned to accounting. Oh, my stapler.
And it works better with the ring.
The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Seattle Seahawks with an impressive drive of 81 yards in 10 plays, capped by Matt Hasselbeck's 6-yard scamper, taking a 14-3 lead over the Washington Redskins. And now, Darryl, the Redskins now have to prove that they can move the ball and get some points if they have any chance.
Well, you never want to fall behind on the road, especially in a stadium as loud as this one is.
Breaks a couple of tackles and winds up at the 24-yard line. A 19-yard return. Joe Tafoya on the stop. We'll see how the Redskins and Mark Brunell respond.
Because a car shouldn't just use energy. It should create it. Introducing the mid-size Ford Fusion. More innovation from Ford. For a life in drive.
Everywhere. Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the Super Bowl.
What happens when 6 world-class figure skaters are paired with 6 celebrity amateurs?
Come on, what can go wrong?
Ooh, that's gonna leave a mark.
What have I gotten myself into?
Fox Wednesday. These celebrities are gonna strap on the blades for a cutting-edge competition paired with the world's best figure skaters.
Can I get a stunt double for this?
Who will rise to the challenge? They're about to find out the hard way.
That looked like it hurt.
This ain't ballroom dancing. It's Skating with Celebrities, a new series, 9/8 Central, Wednesday on Fox.
And the crowd here in Seattle in full throat as the Redskins begin from the 24. Clinton Portis back in the game as the running back. Brunell flush from the pocket. And they run and go out of bounds. And a penalty marker is thrown as Brunell picks up 6 yards.
Will be holding on Washington.
Holding. Offense number 52. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
3 first downs today, and that's an NFL postseason low to 6. There's John Marshall, linebacker coach, who has really come in and done a great job, and the guys touched on it in the studio. Ray Rhodes, the ex-Washington defensive coordinator, there he is here suffering a mild stroke. Has been in the booth today, but has not been in practices, attended only 7 games. He had a recurrence of the symptoms, is not going to practice. We saw him the other day, and he looked in fine spirits. Said, I got to really rehab, and I won't be stubborn this time around. First down and 20 following the penalty, and the pass is out to Santana Moss. And Moss can't get much after the catch. Tupu limits him to a gain of 3.
There's the speed of this Seahawks defense. And, you know, Washington coming in, they felt they played a very quick defense last week in Tampa Bay. They felt that Seattle was a little bit bigger, not as quick. But today, they have just been flying around to the ball. And that play, Washington has run with tremendous success this season. But the pursuit and the speed of that Seattle defense shut it down when Santana Moss was trying to come inside.
And you have to remember that this is a Seattle team that allowed only 17 points a game defensively, 7th best in the league. 2nd down and 17 at the 17. Hand off to Liddell Betts, nothing. And this is an inspired Seahawk defensive team. Lofa to Tupu and Grant Wistrom, and loss of 3 to Betts.
Watch number 51 come around on this play. They had everything. It's like they knew exactly where that play was going. As everything's coming down, Lofa to Tupu is coming around the corner right behind Grant Wistrom. They blow the whole play up in the backfield.
And Taylor Jacobs, we understand, taken ill, so Jimmy Farris, number 86, is in at wide receiver with Moss. 3rd down and 20 from the 5-yard line, and the pass bobbled and caught by Santana Moss. He has the 1st down. Big play, and Moss was clearly open downfield. 23-yard gain.
You sit back, you're going to play zone in this situation, try and force that quarterback to find the hole. Somebody had to blow an assignment, not Santana Moss coming across on a deep in route with nobody there. That just doesn't seem right. Look at that, just over the top of Lofa Tupu's outstretched hand.
Mark Brunell definitely threaded the needle on that one, Moose.
And that's the longest completion by Brunell in this postseason. 1st down at the 37 of Washington. Lyndon Portis trying to cut upfield and tackled from behind by Joe Tafoya after a gain of 2. Ray Brown has cramps. His return is questionable, so Ray Brown, the 43-year-old guard who came in for Randy Thomas, who broke an ankle in week 15, and Corey Raymer now is filling the gap at right guard. Raymer also is a center, so he's a versatile offensive lineman. 2nd down and 8. From the 40. Pump fake. Brunell being chased. Completes to Cooley. And Cooley picking up a few extra yards after the hit. And that's the style of play that made him a big threat at the H-back spot. Gets 16 yards. With Michael Boulware finally bringing him down.
Well, at the top, we talked about taking the playmakers out for the Washington Redskins, and that's when you double Santana Moss. You got somebody over the top so he can't get behind you. The other addition to that is when you're guarding Chris Cooley, you want to cover him man-to-man because he gets in a lot of those situations you just saw. He's out in the flat, you dump the ball off to him late, and then he's making yards after the catch. But if you defend him man-to-man, he can struggle with that type of coverage.
In Seahawk territory at the 44, play fake, and Brunell stepping up, but he won't get it off. Great Terrell with the sack. Back at midfield, and there's a penalty marker. Maybe offsides against the defense.
Offside. Defense. Number 69 line up in the neutral zone. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
That's Joe Tafoya, and that's a big penalty against the Seahawks.
No, it sure is. Good pass rush by Craig Terrell on Corey Raymer, who's in for Ray Brown right there, beats him for the sack. But instead of 2nd and long, it's 1st and 5.
And the first penalty of the day against the Seahawks. Relatively penalty-free game, I would think, with only 4. 1st down and 5 on the 39-yard line of Seattle. Backpedaling, flag down. Here's Royal, and Robert Royal would have the 1st down pending the call. Leroy Hill makes the stop.
Well, this is going to be holding on Corey Raymer. Somebody's got to get him ready to play some playoff football because he's moving at a slower speed right now.
Illegal formation. Offense. Number 86 lined up on the line of scrimmage, covering number 88.
So there's Jimmy Farris.
5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Who hasn't played much for Joe Gibbs this year, but forced into action right here. But Jacobs ill, apparently.
He's up top there. I don't know. I mean, you've got a tackle down here, so he's covering up on the outside. Chris Cooley's back right there. That looks like a clean formation to me. I thought Corey Raymer got called for holding because he got beat across the face and took somebody down in the backfield.
Well, Farris comes out of the game, and they'll have 3 tight ends and a timeout called by the Seahawks, their first of the second half. 5:01 remaining in the third. Seattle 14-3.
Diet Pepsi Machine has made a strong case for Rookie of the Year.
Machine! Machine! Woo! Last year a convenience store, this year the Patriots.
I am very proud of Diet Pepsi Machine. I just wish Hot Dog Machine were that talented.
What's Machine like off the field?
He's a player.
Call me.
Machine, he's just one of the guys.
Live football. Drink Diet Pepsi.
I miss Machine.
Our belief is that 4 wheels should turn heads, that their might should be matched by none, that less of an impact can be the biggest impact of all. And when you think beyond tradition, the world will notice. That's the thinking behind the oval. So to get you behind the oval, you can get select Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, and the first payment is on us. Ford, built for the road ahead.
And Coolidge gets it on.
DLP picture technology is here. HD TV that's so razor sharp and lifelike, you're there. Be sure your next TV has DLP technology from Texas Instruments. It doesn't get any more real than this.
The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by Ford F-150, built Ford tough. By Diet Pepsi, live football, drink Diet Pepsi. By Verizon Wireless. And by DLP technology from Texas Instruments. HD TV doesn't get any more real than this.
Back here in Seattle, Dick Stockton along with Darryl Johnson and the Goose, Tony Siragusa, our field analyst. Seattle calling their first timeout. First down for the Redskins on the Seahawk 44. Brunell faking left up the middle. Pass caught by Clinton Portis. Will be short of the first down by a yard. To Tupu making the stop.
Situation right here where Joe Gibbs is elected to really just, he's putting the game in the hands of Mark Brunell now. It seems like both quarterbacks are in charge of their own destiny because Washington just hasn't been able to run on Seattle's defense either. So it looks like the quarterback who does the best in the passing game is going to be the group that comes out on top.
No one can run. Portis has gained 34. Morris for 34, leading Seattle. It is second down and 1. And again, they go to Portis, not this time. And Portis stopped by Bryce Fisher and Leroy Hill, losing a yard on the play. But what a reconstituted defense we're seeing today, Darryl. Of course, Bryce Fisher, who is a free agent from the Rams, Darby from Tampa Bay, and the 2 rookies we said at linebacker.
You see the success that Washington has. They don't like to be in this situation where they have to throw the ball to win. Their recipe is establishing the run, pounding it, taking advantage when the passing game, some play action. You see right there, they're about to get off kilter.
Well, they're pretty balanced to this point. Third down and 2 from the 36. And Brunell throws nearly an interception. Marquand Manuel, the only one who had a chance to catch that pass intended for Cooley. And Grant Wistrom putting up pressure, and you wonder whether Brunell just wanted to throw it away.
Well, I don't know if he had a chance to throw it away because of Clinton Portis. He's going up against a defensive end that comes clean right there. Most guys just go down and chop him down. Clinton Portis, he is probably the best running back I have seen at picking up the pass blitzer. That time it was a defensive end. He still goes up and sticks his helmet in.
Well, the Redskins are going to go for it on 4th down and 2, and this crowd on its feet. The pitch to Portis. He has blockers. First down, Washington to the 30-yard line. A 6-yard gain. Herndon with the tackle. So Gibbs goes for it on 4th and 2 And a first down.
Watch Clinton Portis on this run. Kelly Herndon's coming up, number 31. He's going to blow it up right here. Little hesitation, little step, gets back inside. There's Jimmy Ferris right there. He's going up against Kelly Herndon. Then he gets off of him, takes on Lofa Tatupu, a wide receiver cracking on a linebacker.
First down at the 30 of Seattle. And here's Portis, and it looks like an option pass to Cooley. And the pass is broken up. How often do you see that kind of a play 2 weeks in a row as the Redskins tried it against Tampa Bay last year? Marquand Manuel broke it up.
Let's see if Chris Cooley did a good job selling this. And he just come out what you want to do. I mean, you're setting up the run. You're trying to make it look like a run. I think Chris needs to sell that just a little bit more. He gave Marquand Manuel enough time to recognize that and get back into the play.
How about 2 straight weeks trying that play?
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him come up with the same action where Clinton's going to, raise up and throw the ball, but go to a different person.
2nd and 10 at the 30. Moss going in motion to the top. Again, a pump fake. Pressure on Brunell, throws it away. So the pressure this time by Rodney Bailey, number 95.
You know, guys, the pressure keeps coming where Ray Brown, from the side that Ray Brown is now out of. Corey Raymer is filling in, and that defensive line is smelling blood. He looks like he is so out of position. He's a center, but he's playing right guard, and they're taking turns over the top of him, getting a lot of pressure. He is pulling somewhat, but that right now is the weak link, and look for Seattle to take advantage of it.
Well, we just had a late flag come out.
Intentional grounding. Offense.
And Jimmy Ferris.
Offense number 8. There was no receiver in the area where the ball
protested.
Out of bounds, and the quarterback was still in the pocket.
See,
loss of down.
That was the big thing. He was still in the pocket. He can do that if he's outside of the pocket, but if he's in the pocket, the receiver has to be in the vicinity. Now, Jimmy Ferris is saying he was in the vicinity, but I don't believe that. Now, if he was outside the pocket and had done that play, it would not have been intentional grounding, but you could see right there, he just drifted straight back.
And Jimmy Ferris cut downfield, and the play couldn't have been the Ferris the way it was designed. So 3rd down and 20 following the intentional grounding call.
The noise is definitely increasing down here on the field. They need to get loud to help this defense right now.
3rd and 20. Brunell taking off and will slide at the 32-yard line. A 7-yard pickup. So this would be about a 49 or 50-yard field goal for Hall if they would go that route, but they're not.
You got a wet ball. It's raining out. That thing's going to be like hitting a log.
And before the game, when it wasn't raining, John Hall was barely making 52-yard field goals and not consistent. So 4th down and 13. Redskins have to get to the 20. And Brunell's going to go down. Rice Fisher, 4-yard loss, and that is the first sack of the game. So the Seahawks will take over on downs at the 37-yard line, maintaining their lead of 14-3.
Hi, I'm John Madden. In all my years of football, I've learned a lot. Grass is better than turf, fried is better than baked, and in Green Bay, those cheeseheads aren't really made out of cheese, trust me. And I've learned VCast from Verizon Wireless is perfect for any fan. You can watch me preview all the action right in your phone. It's tiny, but powerful, like a kicker.
Verizon Wireless is the only network with VCast. Watch broadband quality sports clips and the Madden Report. And now get a cool LG 8100 for just $99.99, only from Verizon Wireless.
Cholesterol comes from 2 sources. It's not only from that foot-long Frank, but from your Grandpa Frank. And not just from that Virginia ham, but from your Aunt Ginny, too. Your cholesterol doesn't just come from food. It also has a lot to do with family history. Ask your doctor about Vytorin. A healthy diet is important, but when it's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Vytorin treats the two sources of cholesterol, food and what your body makes naturally based on family history. Vytorin was proven in clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol more than Lipitor alone. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Vytorin may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Follow a healthy diet and ask your doctor about adding Vytorin. For the two sources of cholesterol, remember the name Vytorin. That's Vytorin.
All across America, here they come. NASCAR comes to the California Speedway, February 26th on Fox.
Here's Corey Raymer right here.
You know, you're only rushing 3 down defensive linemen. Right there, you see the left end. Corey Raymer in there, number 52, is looking inside. He needs to come back out and help on the inside move. He doesn't. That's where Mark Brunell steps up to get a sack with only 3 men rushing. That's a travesty, guys.
And Fisher led the team in sacks with 9 during the regular year. And you remember it's Randy Thomas who was out. A huge loss at right guard for the Redskins. So Seahawks take over, and the first play, a completed pass to Bobby Ingram, and Sean Taylor covering for a minimal gain of 2.
Well, it's been about the injuries this afternoon, and Seattle is weathering the storm with Sean Alexander, but to lose Ray Brown, it's somebody you don't think is going to have that big of an impact. But as Tony's pointing out with Corey Raymer in there, you know, you haven't had a chance to be on the field all season, and the first time you step onto the field, it's playoffs. The intensity is up, and you are going to struggle to match that intensity.
Walt Harris, who has started 12 games for the Redskins, replacing Rodgers, 2nd down and 8. And Hasselbeck stepping up and going deep. And the pass is caught by Barrel Jackson again, beating Taylor downfield, and Taylor is shaken up. A 37-yard catch and a brilliant game being played by Darrell Jackson.
Watch Matt Hasselbeck look everybody off to the left. He's going to come out. He's all the way down the left side. Last second, he turns and goes back to the right. That's why Darrell Jackson is so open on that side. I think that Sean Taylor came off him a little bit early because he was reading the eyes of Matt Hasselbeck.
And shaken up was Taylor. Jackson now with 9 catches for 143 yards.
Sean Taylor comes in, puts the big hit on, but takes the brunt of that. You know, Tony talked about it earlier. We thought Sean Alexander might have had a burner, but that looks like one of those hits where you get one of those things where that thing's shooting down your arm.
Taylor, of course, who was fined $17,000 and ejected in the wild card game against the Buccaneers for spitting at Michael Pittman, the Tampa Bay Bucs running back. But now is up. But what a performance for Darrell Jackson, who underwent knee surgery. Last game was against the Redskins before he had the knee surgery. Played hurt in that game and had 7 catches.
A great job of looking off Sean Taylor by Matt Hasselbeck. You saw in that last replay, he had already opened his hips. He was breaking back towards the middle of the field and left Darrell Jackson open down the sideline.
So Pearson Prelo replaces Taylor. So you have Walt Harris and Prelo in for Rodgers and Taylor, for Springs, I should say. And a first down with nearly a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter. Seahawks threatening first down on the 24. Maurice Morris going left with blockers. And coming up and breaking it all up is Philip Daniels, the former Seahawk. No gain on the play.
Great pursuit down the line by Philip Daniels. We hear a lot about him as a pass rusher, but watch him on the running play. I mean, from the defensive end position, recognizing it, coming straight down the line of scrimmage to make that play all the way out by the sideline.
Things are looking up here in Seattle. The Seahawks are winning, and it looks like there might be a little sun on the horizon here, guys. These people have something to be excited about after 27 days of rain.
Still raining, however, looking for some blue sky. And that's what the Seahawks are giving their fans as Morris carries again. Morris close to the first down, about 1.5 yards shy, with Marshall and Clark defending, and that will be the last play of the third quarter as the Seahawks showing why they're the #1 seed in the conference. That's the end of the third with the score. Seattle 14 and Washington 3. This Fox NFL divisional playoff continues after a word from your local Fox station.
You're watching the NFC divisional playoffs on Fox.
You're about to see a meeting of one of the most powerful financial organizations in the world. It's backed by the resources and the credit rating of the world's largest wealth management firm. And it's meeting today to answer the most important question on its agenda.
So how am I doing?
Wealth management at UBS. From wealth preservation to lending and investment. You and us. UBS.
Guys, come on. We've been over this a million times.
Pencil neck, pigtail. At least I don't need salt. Salt is for suckers.
Hey, I'm not saying I like one fry better than another. It's just for a limited time. When guests buy a combo, they can upgrade to seasoned curly fries for free.
Corkscrew. Sucker! Don't make me get out my bag.
Stop it! This free fry swap is for a limited time, so I expect you to behave like professional potatoes.
Mr. Box needs a vacation.
Your local sports scoop. Mark Berman, weeknights on Fox 26 News at 9.
And the Seattle Seahawks start the fourth quarter, leading the Redskins 14-3. Seahawks, who have not won a playoff game since 1984 when they beat the Raiders in the Kingdome, 13-7. And with a win today over Joe Gibbs' Redskins, they would host the championship game for the first time in franchise history. It'll be 3rd down and 2 on the Washington 16. Maurice Morris, 42 yards on 13 carries after Sean Alexander went out in the first quarter. Play action. Hasselbeck. And the pass caught by. And the blocking version of the Seahawks tight end, short of the first down, thanks to Marcus Washington.
Well, when one of your guys goes down, somebody's got to step up, and today it was Darrell Jackson. And they put the game in the hands of Matt Hasselbeck, and this has been his go-to guy this afternoon. Big play after big play down the field in the passing game. And that's the thing. When you play a team that is balanced like Seattle is, I mean, they're great at running the football, but I think everybody has underestimated what they can do in their passing game.
They have a lot of versatility, so Josh Brown on to attempt a 33-yard field goal, and the kick is good. So Brown, who missed the chance to win a 47-yard field goal contest in Washington, adds to the Seahawk lead, 17-3.
I thought you were getting hors d'oeuvres.
It's game time, baby. Come on now.
Well, that's a double quarter pounder.
With cheese.
Samantha wanted hors d'oeuvres.
The double quarter pounder with cheese. Pound one. Hors d'oeuvres.
Yes.
And this is what I had in mind when I thought about you.
Fisher is showing blitz.
This season, don't miss a thing. From your sports
or your beer. Grab a Miller Lite with more taste than Bud Light and half the carbs. Miller, good call.
The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by Hummer. Check out the new H3, Hummer like nothing else. By McDonald's. By Miller, there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call. And by FedEx Express, international shipping made easy.
Twice this season, the Seahawks have not allowed a touchdown. December 5th in a 42-0 romp at Philadelphia. A week later, beating the 49ers 41-3 right here. Josh Brown kicking off. Liddell Betts going deep for the Redskins. Betts from the 2-yard line. And brings it out to about the 25. Early here in the fourth quarter, Mark Brunell and the Redskins trying to find the answer to this very stingy Seattle defense.
Remember, guys, Tom will be paying with his Visa card. You guys will represent the 5 layers of Visa security. Matt, zero liability. Brandon, identity theft assistance. Russ, fraud monitoring.
Why am I fraud monitoring?
What?
Why can't I be zero liability?
Well, Russ, I'm actually zero liability.
Why can't you be identity theft assistance?
I'm identity theft assistance.
Hey, listen, I'll be fraud monitoring.
You? Fraud monitoring?
With Visa, you're protected.
I'm the director.
Well, why can't I be the director?
A standard power rear liftgate. One more reason Cadillac SRX has been named Car and Driver's Best Luxury SUV 2 years running.
Dad, you know how you like to be everywhere I am? Now you can be.
With Family Talk from Singular. Add a line for just $9.99. Plus get a cool Nokia video camera phone for only $29.99. Singular, raising the bar.
American Idol is back with incredible new talent, and while some will rock the judges,
All the lonely days are gone. I'm coming home.
yes, others will raise the dead.
Well, you don't need a microphone, do you?
Television's biggest event is almost here. American Idol. The new season begins at 8/7 Central Fox Tuesday.
And the Redskins have to contend with the Seahawks defense and this crowd. Ray Brown back in at right guard, suffered cramps. And a first down at the 24. Mark Brunell. Play action, and it's passed wide open. It's Chris Cooley into Seattle territory. Cooley, who does not have a world of speed, however, gets to the 22-yard line. A big 51-yard pass play on first down. Boulware finally caught up with him.
Chris Cooley's out here off the wing. He gets a free release off the line. Nobody picks him up. He runs right through the linebacker level, and he's running free in the secondary. There's 2 guys in this passing game you have to worry about. You can't turn one of them loose in the secondary.
So officially, it's a 52-yard pass play. First down to the Seahawks 24. And the quick pass out to Santana Moss. Moss is hit immediately, a loss of 1 on the play.
What a great play by Andre Dyson right there. That's one of the bread and butter plays for this Redskin offense. If you're going to slow him down, that's one of the plays that you have to stop, and he did it single-handedly.
Dyson, who came out earlier, got his starting job back after being injured with a high ankle sprain. Second down and 11. Against the 4-man rush, Brunell's pass caught by Moss and hit immediately at the 20. Not much running after the catch other than Cooley's romp. 5-yard pickup. Leroy Hill making the stop, bringing up third down and about 6.
That pursuit by this Seattle defense. I've been very impressed with him this afternoon. See, Mark, 23 passes for 89 yards. It's not a down-the-field offense.
No more dink and dunk, although they ended up with a big play to the dink and dunk H-back. 3rd down and 6. And Brunell, he's chased from the pocket and fires across play, and it's knocked away. And it's caught for the touchdown. Santana Moss. Moss makes the catch off the deflection. And the Redskins get their first touchdown of the game.
I cannot believe this got through all that traffic.
I think Dyson might have got a hand on it.
Mark Brunell, when he let this ball go, he had to be like, oh boy, I'm going to get it when I get to the sideline. Watch this thing come in. There's everybody. Tip, bang. Unbelievable. Great hand-to-eye coordination by Santana Moss.
Concentration, and the 20-yard pass from Brunell to Moss gives a big boost to the Redskins back in this game. And John Hall looking to add the 10th point. And very early here in this 4th quarter, the Redskins respond. The big play to Cooley, the deflection, touchdown to Moss, and the Seahawks lead is 17-10.
It seems like everyone's rushing to get things done faster. But sometimes the best solution is to slow things down. Budweiser Select starts with the finest American and Bavarian hops. Then we brew it longer, giving the beer a full flavor that's easy to drink. Why do we slow things down to make Budweiser Select? It's worth it. Budweiser Select. Expect everything.
Will you be hauling 7 tons of sheet metal? Or 70 pounds of plywood? 12,000 pounds of cattle? Or a little something for a do-it-yourself job? We can't be certain how you'll use your GMC Sierra heavy-duty pickup, so we engineered it with the most available V8 horsepower and torque in its class. GMC, engineered to the highest standard, professional grade.
Hey, we got a new mascot?
There's an easier way to get the gear the pros wear. Call 1-877-NFL-SHOP for a free team catalog or log on to NFLShop.com.
Smith and the Panthers battle Urlacher and the Bears. Tomorrow on Fox, America's most watched NFL network. The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by GMC Trucks and SUVs. We are professional grade.
Redskins battle back to cut the Seahawks lead to 17-10. With only about 3 minutes gone by here in this 4th quarter. John Hall will kick off. And Josh Scobie goes back deep.
That scoring drive, 76 yards.
And Scobie on the return loses the ball. And the scramble is on. Wait for the official signal.
I tell you, if a Seahawk comes out of that pile with it, he's a heck of a man to be down there. Because that was all Redskin players around that ball.
Redskins get it. And the turnover, so the Redskins recover on Scobie's fumble.
Little bit loose. Comes in, gets a hit right on the ball. Trying to bring it up and tuck it away. It squirts out. Greg Williams said, if we're going to win tomorrow against Seattle, we've got to generate 3 turnovers.
Well, there's
number 3.
John Hall, the kicker, recovered it for the Redskins. So Hall recovers, and the Redskins will have a first down on the Seahawk 40-yard line. And you can see the reaction of the Washington bench.
1 turnover on the punt team, 1 turnover on the kickoff, or the 1 turnover by the kickoff return team. That one phase of the game that we always kind of forget about.
And that's where the Redskins shine. 3 turnovers for Seattle. First down from the 40. Brunell still can't find a receiver. And it tries to go to the near sideline to Clinton Portis. And the pass incomplete. Flag is down at the opposite side of the field on the 25. Ron Winter, the referee, going over to check the flag.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, defense number 21. A 5-yard penalty and a first down.
Andre Dyson working against Moss. There is the contact. Moss going right into Dyson.
You know, he's got as much right to that spot of real estate out there on the field as Santana Moss. I don't know if there's a speed bump call, but here's the recipes for success for these guys during this 6-game win streak, and they're doing it all today. Look at the sacks, but the takeaways that they've had today. The offense starting on a short field. Washington's offense has really struggled going the distance. That's why that last drive of 76 yards was very impressive. But the other one was a short field on the fumble punt. Now they've got another short field.
End around to Santana Moss, stops, and then goes upfield and picks up only one when all is said and done. Greg Terrell making the play. So the Redskins have lived on the short field during this 6-game winning streak, including the Tampa Bay win last week. Remember, they started the game having to go the distance and could not make any kind of headway.
Well, after a real big defensive battle in the first half, we're starting to see the offenses start to have a little bit of success.
2nd down and 9 on the Seahawk 34. Looking one way, here's Cooley, and Chris Cooley is tackled a yard short of the first down by Lofa Tatupu. Ray Brown was out front blocking, and the Redskins gained 8 yards.
Chris Cooley out here, going to get into your screen again. It's that it's one of the plays that these guys run all the time. Slips out. Ray Brown out front. Got a little sidetracked. Can't put the big man out in space on a defensive back.
Don't you dare point out a guy who's been in the league 20 years, Moose.
I thought he was going to light him up. I didn't know he was going to. That's putting a guy out there with a chance to be unsuccessful.
3rd down and 1. Taylor Jacobs is back on the field. 3rd and 1, and the pitch is to Clinton Portis, turning the corner. First down, and Portis is driven out of bounds by Michael Boulware, but he gets 2, and a first down to the 23 of the Seattle Seahawks.
You get these plays on the perimeter, and sometimes you'll bring in a guy to crack. You're going to have Robert Royal come in and crack this side. Now, that guy's got to tell him 88's coming in. You give him the crack call so he knows and he can fight across the face. If not, you've sealed that play off from the inside out. It allows Clinton Portis to get on the edge with enough yards for the first down.
And Chris Samuels with a key block as well. First down on the 24. And that was Royal on the right side making contact with Bryce Fisher. No hard feelings.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Penalty is on John Jansen. The statistical story right now is tightened up. Neither team is nearing 100 yards. And the Redskins within 30 of the passing yards. Tight game, first down and 15 following the penalty. Back at the 29. And here's the pass to Liddell Betts. And Betts getting inside the 20. Short of the first down by about 5. Boulware again making the play with help from Fisher, but a 10-yard pickup.
They've gotten so good at running this plays. They're giving everybody a chance to run that little slip screen on the outside. We've seen Taylor Jacobs get a shot at it. Liddell Betts had one. Cooley had one on the other side.
Darryl, I think it's amazing what the Redskins are doing with limited offensive ammunition.
Well, they're starting to get the other people involved, and that's something they needed to do a little bit early. A little bit conservative early on with their game plan again, but then all of a sudden they recognize the fact it's going to be hard to run. They've let Mark Brunell have a little bit more freedom with some plays down the field.
And here's Liddell Betts on the inside running play off the shotgun. No gain. Hill and Babineau, the cornerback. Seahawks leading the Redskins 17-10.
You know, those little dump plays, Moose, that we keep seeing to the outside, that really wears down the defensive line, because you've got to go take on the offensive lineman and run constantly from sideline to sideline. I think that's what the Washington Redskins are trying to do, is wear this defense down a little bit.
They're bigger. They may be smaller and athletic, but they're trying to do just that. 3rd down and 4. And Brunell's pass off the hands of Santana Moss.
Wow, you can see that one coming all the way across the field.
And that will bring up 4th down, and the
you know, sometimes you put your faith in your quarterback that he's not going to hang you out like this. Not only does he have Marcus Trufant walking right up to deliver the big hit, but he sails it a little bit on top of that. So Santana Moss has got to expose himself. I tell you what, Marcus Trufant really could have taken a shot at Santana Moss on that play and didn't get him nearly as good as he could. Probably why he avoided that penalty.
So Brunell comes out, and John Hall, who has a 26-yard field goal thus far. This will be a 36-yard attempt. And looking to bring the Redskins to within 4. And a flag thrown in the end zone. The direction in which Hall is kicking. Ron Winter.
There is no foul for delay of game. The ball is now ready for play because of the wet conditions.
Common sense move.
Blame it on the rain.
The rain is probably the lightest it's been since it started to come down at the top. So here it is, 36-yard attempt for Hall. Misses, hooked it. John Hall misses a 36-yard field goal. And the Seahawks will take over. In a game like this, those kinds of misses are critical.
Well, you'd stolen all the momentum back. You have that long scoring drive. You cause a fumble on the ensuing kickoff. Your offense comes down, has an opportunity for points. John Hall, I mean, look at him. He knew he pulled that one. Something looked like it was wrong with his mechanics all the way.
Now, this isn't a high-scoring game, so when you have a close game, which the defenses have dominated, 3 points looms large. So the Seahawks take over on their 27, still leading by that count of 17-10. And now Sean Springs has come back to the game. At cornerback for the Redskins, Maurice Morris ducking under, picking up a couple on 1st down.
It's amazing what they have done today without Sean Alexander in the lineup offensively. I mean, Maurice Morris has come in. He's done what he's asked to do as a backup running back. He's come in. He's been productive. But you look at what Matt Hasselbeck has done. He's also got a rushing touchdown. Darrell Jackson has stepped up immensely today.
And made those 9 catches. Many of them have been very tough grabs. So not only has Sean Springs come back, Sean Taylor as well. 2nd down and 9. Hasselbeck to Morris out of the backfield. Maurice Morris turns on the burners, goes out of bounds, and a 1st down to the 44, picking up 17.
Had to be a blown coverage right there. And Maurice Morris is out in the flat. There's nobody around him. And this is the patience of Matt Hasselbeck. Take what the defense gives you. Like, there goes Maurice Morris out to the flat. There's nobody within 10 yards of him.
Well, they're not expecting him to come outside. You know, Sean Alexander only has 15 receptions, something they did talk about. They don't have to worry about the running backs coming out for passes, but obviously right there they broke a tendency.
16 of 26 for 216 yards and a touchdown. As Darrell said, also ran for the 1st down. And here's Morris off the left side. And Philip Daniels right there and a gain of 3 yards. Want to remind you tomorrow, the NFC Divisional Playoff, Bears and the Panthers in Week 11. The Bears won. Panthers were favored in that game as Jake Delhomme was sacked 8 times and Steve Smith had a career high 169 yards and 14 catches.
Chicago really dominated that game in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Obviously you see defensively with the 8 sacks. But then, you know, that was a time of the year when they were pretty much a one-dimensional offense, and for them to get those yards against that defense with all those people in the box, impressive.
Morris carried off the right side, gets 2 yards with Evans on the tackle. Sean Alexander, an early exit today, fumbled the first possession by Seattle on the Washington 10, and then suffered a concussion and left the game in the first quarter. Carried 6 times for 9 yards. And the Seahawks have picked up the slack, leading by 7 as we get close to 5.5 to go in the fourth. Third down and 6.
Here comes that pressure.
Back strong. First down. A lot more.
Yeah.
Max Strong gets an opening, and that's one of the things you talked about. The audibles by Matt Hasselbeck to a run really calmed him down and made the Seahawks more effective.
And the reason you don't like to bring pressure is against the running team is you get all these guys up inside. If you can break that initial wave, there's nobody else behind. A poor angle by Omar Stoutmire allows Max Strong to get on the corner, and then you're into the secondary. There's nobody else there. Omar's got to make that play, came underneath, and once he got around there was no support.
Good for 32 yards, and the Seahawks with a first down on the 20. That's a career long run for Max Strong as Morris tests the middle of the line, and Washington is there.
That might be a career total for the game rushing for Max Strong.
Those fullbacks don't get much respect, do they, Moose?
No, no.
And an injured player is Cornelius Griffin, who missed a couple of games with a hip flexor. But a huge run from Max Strong, who's going to his first Pro Bowl, and well deserved. We'll be right back.
Each engineering innovation we make helps you overcome another challenge on the road. The GMC Envoy and Envoy XL with StabiliTrak, standard. We can't be certain how you'll use our SUVs, so we engineer them all to the highest standard. Professional grade.
This time of year, everyone wants to lose weight. Subway restaurants can help. With their new Fresh Resolutions Instant Win Game, you can win thousands of great prizes, like an all-inclusive Beaches Family Resorts vacation for 4. The more you come in, the more chances you have to win. And with 8 delicious subs with 6 grams of fat or less, what have you got to lose? Bye-bye burgers.
The clock is ticking down to the biggest television event of the new year. No! Starting tomorrow.
Who are you?
Someone who's not supposed to still be alive.
2 nights.
I am the First Lady.
I want this handled.
I had the proof.
4 hours.
My son is in there.
I'm so sorry that I got you involved in this.
Do you know he still loves you?
And the first 10 minutes will change everything. 24, the 2-night premiere event begins at 8, 7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
And we're back here, and going off the field now is Cornelius Griffin on his own power, and replaced by Cedric Killings, number 91, at defensive tackle for the Redskins. The Seahawks have outrushed the Redskins 116-59, and that is without Alexander being of service. Morris with 49, Strong with 35, and Hasselbeck has added 23.
Yeah, a fullback with a franchise record.
That was for you. Second down and 8.
All pro along with his Pro Bowl honors this year. He hit the double-double.
And all pro, right? Morris with strong blocking, doing a great job. Flag goes down, and Maurice Morris is stopped at the 16-yard line by Daniels and Taylor.
Matt Hasselbeck ran over there to lobby some kind of point, and he's got a conference going right now. Maybe he talked him out of something.
Robbie Tobeck also wasn't too happy with whatever they're calling. He was lobbying pretty well himself.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal hands to the face. Number 98 defense. Holding. Number 61 offense. Those penalties offset. Replay, second down.
Well, Tony, now we know why Tobeck was not pleased, and Marshall on the other side. So offsetting penalties, they'll replay the down.
The wall works out. Matt didn't want to call, so it's kind of like it wasn't called.
Joe Gibbs, who retired for 11 years, came back at 6-10, trying to contend with the Seattle Seahawks with Alexander knocked out of the game in the first quarter. But look at the support he's gotten from other running backs, including the quarterback.
Max Strong averaging 17.5 a carry.
With under 4 minutes to go, handoff to Morris, and hit immediately, storming in with Sean Taylor and Marcus Washington, limiting Morris to a 1-yard gain. Now trying to use the clock or the Seahawks to set up for a possible field goal attempt. There's the owner, Paul Allen, of the Seattle Seahawks. Went on the radio yesterday and saluted the fans for their great support. Coming out of the game shaken up was Morris.
Now you got to go to Max Strong.
Well, I hate to have you call plays, on a team, because the fullback would be the leading rusher. There he is. Third down.
There you go.
And the handoff to Strong, and he'll be stopped at the 13. The old Brett Favre fake jump pass, handoff for 4. Prelo on the tackle, and a timeout called by the Redskins, stopping the clock with 2:58 to go.
And the one person we haven't called his number quite a bit this afternoon is Marcus Washington. I mean, he's been a huge playmaker for the Redskins, and he's had a quiet afternoon today.
Don't forget, tomorrow it'll be the Panthers and the Bears. Nathan Vasher intercepted a Jake Delhomme first quarter pass, returned to the 8-yard line, set up Hussein Muhammad for a touchdown. Vasher, another interception, leading to a field goal. It was 10-0 Bears in the first. Panthers' only score was a field goal in 4 quarters. 8 sacks, as we mentioned, against Jake Delhomme. And the Bears won it 13-3. It was their 6th straight win in an 8-game streak. Tomorrow, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on Fox Sports, America's most watched NFL network. Josh Brown will attempt a 31-yard field goal, and the kick is good. And the Seahawks now lead by a score of 20-10. Second field goal of the game for Brown. And now it is a 2-score game for the Redskins. They need 2 scores to come back in this one.
Coming away with no points after that fumble on the kickoff return on that missed field goal. That's going to be huge down the stretch here, because you pointed out that it's a 2-possession game right now. And I just, they had that one drive where they were able to get Chris Cooley and Santana Moss involved. But this is not a quick strike offense. It's not built around that. It hasn't been that way. In the middle of the season, they were putting up some yards and things, but the last 6 weeks, it has not been built that way.
And especially the way Washington have had trouble in postseason. Well, tomorrow night on Fox, the wait is over. Television's biggest event of the new year finally here. 2 nights, 4 hours. The 24 2-night premiere begins tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, right here only on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. And how enthusiastic are you of that great show?
We bought TiVo last year because of 24. And, this time of year is great for 2 reasons. Playoff football, and 24 is back on TV.
And we have seen Kiefer Sutherland interviewed all over the place in television, other networks. Brilliant cast led by Kiefer Sutherland.
You've been talking about it so much, Moose, I'm going to have to watch it myself.
Oh, you're going to be hooked for the next several months.
Liddell Betts returning Josh Brown's kick and gets hit solidly at the 26. So 2:49 on the clock. And the Redskins have 2 timeouts remaining. So Mark Brunell, until the last possession, it's been kind of an under-attack day, passing and running. He's going to have to let it go a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, you're forced into this situation now, and you know that big play to Chris Cooley got that offense jump started on the long drive where they were able to get some points. But I don't know, now this Seattle defense, they can sense it. I mean, you can hear the crowd getting ramped up right now. I mean, this is I don't expect to see them to find people running free in the secondary.
Brunell on first down, and wide open is Portis. And Portis will only get about a yard and a half. Lofa Tatupu was right there to defend Portis. And the hurry-up offense now. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
This is an opportunity for Seattle to bring some pressure. You don't want Mark Brunell in the backfield. They're feeling comfortable. He'll pick you apart.
Hampered by the sprained knee, and here they come. Brunell escapes trouble right now, and his pass thrown into the Redskin bench.
They're not doing it with one-on-one pass rushes up front, Tony. When they've gotten that pressure, they're running some games, doing some twists inside.
Yeah, them twists are all good and great, but if they go and pass you a little bit, it gives the quarterback an extra half or 1 second to go and sit back there. Those quarterbacks are very aware of what's going on up there when you run them line stunts.
3rd down and 8. Tough place for a big drive if you're the opponent. And Brunell is sacked back at the 20 by Chuck Darby. The loss is 8 yards, and 4th down coming up. The fans here in Seattle have been on their feet the entire 4th quarter. They lifted the 12th man flag, emblematic of this great fan support, which also includes a fan not expected to be that in Sean Alexander today.
These fans are really pumped up, like you said, Dick. They've been up on their feet the whole 4th quarter. They're ready to go today.
2-minute warning. We'll be right back.
The NFC Divisional Playoffs on Fox are sponsored by Sprint Business. With Sprint Business, you can make just about any place a workplace. Sprint Business, yes you can.
Sprint Business is reinventing the yes man, turning the yes man into someone who can work from almost anywhere. And now that Sprint and Nextel have come together, you can work in and out of the office more efficiently, the way 96% of the Fortune 1000 already do. So if saying yes from just about anywhere with speed and confidence makes me a yes man, I'm a yes man.
With Sprint Business, you can make just about any place a workplace. Yes, you can.
These orders need to get to San Diego on Friday. Any thoughts?
Come on, people. It's 4th and goal with 3 seconds on the clock.
Excuse me, but I think you're being a bit liberal with the football terminology. Just go with FedEx Ground for your everyday shipping. Reliability for less than you think.
FedEx Ground. Reliability for less than you think. Will you be hauling 7 tons of sheet metal? Or 70 pounds of plywood? 12,000 pounds of cattle? Or a little something for a do-it-yourself job? We can't be certain how you'll use your GMC Sierra heavy-duty pickup, so we engineered it with the most available V8 horsepower and torque in its class. GMC, engineered to the highest standard, professional grade.
Two-minute warning. The Redskins need 2 scores, but their season on the line right here, starting from the 20-yard line, or at the 4th down and 16 from the 20. They've got to get up to the 36 to stay alive. Mark Brunell looking downfield, fires it up. Santana Moss makes the catch to the 40-yard line of Seattle. And there is Brunell hobbling upfield, and a 40-yard pickup as Moss, almost like a street yard game that you'd see.
Mark Brunell does a great job keeping that play alive. Great chemistry between quarterback and wide receiver, adjusting on the play.
From the 41-yard line. Again, Brunell has to ad-lib, but flags are down. The pass caught by Portis. Clinton Portis still on the run. It gets inside the 15, but 2 flags are thrown down at midfield.
think we got offensive holding, and it's coming back.
Holding. Offense number 60. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So instead of the huge gain, and you kind of felt it here, Chris Samuels called for the holding penalty, and they'll bring that one back. Matt Hasselbeck, who has thrown for 1 touchdown and run for another, and Darrell Jackson having a playoff record game with 143 yards, a touchdown catch, and 9 receptions. So it's first down and 20 now after the penalty on the Redskins 49. .123 on the clock, and the pass out in the flat to Robert Royal, the tight end, and they pick up 5 on the play. Today's game being produced by Bob Stenner and directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate director is Charles McDonald. The replay producer is Larry Lancaster. The sideline producer is Robert Slawsby. The associate producer is Wayne Wilson. The broadcast associate, Corey Brocious. The technical producer is Bob Mueller. Second down and 16 on the 47 of Seattle. Time a major factor here with 1:18 to go. And Brunell going back and goes up the middle, caught by Liddell Betts, and gets a few extra yards inside the 40. It'll be third down, and now the Redskins will call another timeout. Here is the scoring recap, and mistakes early really hurt the Seahawks. 3-0 lead as a result of that turnover on Hall's field goal, but then Darrell Jackson with a 29-yard touchdown run. Hasselbeck made it 14-3, and then Brunell hit Moss off a deflection. It was 17-10, and then the field goal makes it 20-10, and the Redskins are down to 1 timeout remaining. By the way, the pregame show was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The studio technical supervisor is Jack Simmons. The senior producer is Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And we'd like to thank our spotter, Chris Visser, our statistician, Rick Odioso, and Mike Eldridge in the truck as well. Great job by everyone. Third down and 7 on the 38. Obviously 2-down territory. The flip to Royal. And Royal is upended short of the first down at the 33 by Trufant and Boulware. So now with 54 seconds remaining, the Redskins use their last timeout. It'll be 4th and 2.
Never forget that Cowboy game earlier this year against those Redskins. You know, I think everybody had them counted out on that in a 2-possession game late in the game, and they somehow found a way to pull that one out. So this thing, even with 54 seconds left and them needing the 2 scores, I wouldn't go anywhere just yet. I've seen it happen before with this group.
This team has won 6 in a row. They were counted out at 5 and 6. Meanwhile, the Seahawks, after losing the game at Green Bay to finish up the year, had won 11 in a row. Joe Gibbs and Mike Holmgren, 4 Super Bowls between them, with Joe Gibbs capturing 3 with 3 different quarterbacks. Speaking about a guy who knows how to coach quarterback.
Yeah, great offensive coach.
4th down and 2 from the 33. And Brunell going for everything in the end zone, and it's unable to hold on to it was Moss. He looked like he had it, and it bounced out. Michael Boulware was on the coverage.
That's Santana Moss coming in motion. Not a double move or anything. He's just downfield one-on-one with a safety. You don't like that matchup. Makes an adjustment at the last second. Michael Boulware, what a great job getting his arm in there.
But Moss was there, and now the Seahawks will take over on downs, and now we have to go back to the missed field goal by John Hall, 36 yards out. In a game like this, points are precious. Could have brought the Redskins to within 17-13. Josh Brown makes the field goal, and then they would only need a touchdown and an extra point to tie the game. But right now, the Seahawks can run out the clock. Redskins are out of timeouts.
I think this really kind of defines what this Seahawks team has been about this season. Not in seasons past, but this season. They're able to overcome adversity. They can make amends for the things that happened. Sean Alexander goes out early in the game. They're down 3-0 in the turnover battle in this game. Somehow find a way to fight all that adversity, and they're going to be hosting the NFC Championship game here next weekend.
For the first time in franchise history, Darryl, and this is a team in which Mike Holmgren didn't know what his future was going to be. A lot of changes had to be made. They took away his general manager's job and became the coach. Is he going to continue that way? Matt Hasselbeck grew. Huge game for Seattle. And for the Washington Redskins, well, how longer could they dig down deep? Their streak ends and their season ends, and the Seahawks move on. Final score, the Seahawks 20, the Redskins 10. Seattle move on to the NFC Championship game, and we'll be back here at Seattle following these messages.
Guys, this is a Silverado half-ton crew. It has more horsepower and torque than Ford or Dodge. Paper flowers? Tin cans? Come on. I love weddings.
Chevy Silverado, an American Revolution.
No, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Yeah? Who sent you? You have a resume?
Do you have a resume? I am determined to get a job, I'll be honest with you.
Expenses related to a job search can be written off.
Yes, I could be an asset to this company. Yes, I could.
Are you getting all your deductions? Do your taxes at taxcut.com and find out. Tax Cut from H&R Block.
Sprint's giving away seats this close?
Yep.
Wow.
If I win those Super Bowl tickets from Sprint, you were so not going with me.
For 2 weeks only, enter Sprint Super Bowl with the Rolling Stone sweepstakes for your chance to win 2 tickets to the game, plus get on the field for the halftime show. Enter at a Sprint store or text WIN to 2695 from your Sprint or Nextel handset. Sprint, yes you can.
Diet Pepsi Machine has made a strong case for Rookie of the Year.
Machine! Machine! Woo! Last year a convenience store, this year the Patriots.
I am very proud of Diet Pepsi Machine. I just wish Hot Dog Machine were that talented.
What's Machine like off the field?
He's a player.
Call me.
Machine, he's just one of the guys.
Live football. Drink Diet Pepsi. I miss Machine.
When 6 world-famous skaters pair up with 6 untrained celebrities, it's gonna hurt. Skating with Celebrities, a new series, 9/8 Central, Wednesday on Fox.
Come to Houston Camera Exchange and see the Canon Digital Rebel XT. An 8-megapixel, easy-to-use SLR with virtually no delay when you snap the picture, and with the ability to shoot at 3 frames per second and never miss the opportunity to catch the impossible. Is the next generation Canon Digital Rebel XT the right camera for you? Find out at the Houston Camera Exchange, 5900 Richmond at Fountain View.
At Geico.com, you can handle all your car insurance needs online. It's so easy, a caveman could do it.
Seriously, we apologize. We had no idea you guys were still around.
Yeah, next time maybe do a little research.
Gentlemen, are we ready to order?
I'll have the roast duck with the mango salsa. I don't have much of an appetite, thank you.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
There's only one day left until the television event of the new year.
No!
Sunday night at 7 on Fox 26.
It was a long drought, but the Seahawks win their first playoff game since 1984 and remain undefeated here at home. And now for the UPS leaderboard, Matt Hasselbeck with a touchdown pass and a TD run. Fullbacks always deliver, says my partner. Max Strong with a 32-yard run, and Darrell Jackson team playoff record in receiving yards. So this is Dick Stockton for Darrell Johnston and Tony Siragusa saying so long from Seattle. Final score, Seahawks 20, Redskins 10. Up next, Fox NFL coverage continuing with the Subway post-game report from Los Angeles with JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy right after these words on Fox Sports, America's most watched NFL network. So long, everybody.
And that's the end of the half. Score 14-10.
This season, don't miss a thing from your sports or your beer.
And we're back for the second
Grab a
half.
Miller Lite with more taste than Bud Light and half the carbs. Miller, good call.
Accidents happen. Nice to know the all-new Jetta received the top overall crash rating in its class from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. With zero due at signing, you can lease a 2.0 T Value Edition Jetta for only $249 a month on a 39-month lease.
Cholesterol comes from two sources. It's not only from that foot-long Frank, but from your grandpa Frank. And not just from that Virginia ham, but from your Aunt Ginny too. Your cholesterol doesn't just come from food. It also has a lot to do with family history. Ask your doctor about Vytorin. A healthy diet is important, but when it's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Vytorin treats the two sources of cholesterol, food and what your body makes naturally based on family history. Vytorin was proven in clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol more than Lipitor alone. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Vytorin may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Follow a healthy diet and ask your doctor about adding Vytorin. For the two sources of cholesterol, remember the name Vytorin. That's Vytorin.
The worst players in pro football are still some of the best in the world. But the worst singers on American Idol just plain stink.
Thank you.
American Idol. Feel the pain. Starting at 8, 7 Central, Tuesday on Fox.
Welcome to the Subway postgame show, sponsored by Subway Restaurants. Celebrate this new year by keeping your resolutions. Subway, eat fresh.
Coming up tomorrow here on Fox, it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Chicago Bears. Physicality written all over that one. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Say that again, TB.
Physicality.
Yes, indeed. Hard hitting weather indeed as we get set for the divisional playoffs as they continue right here on Fox. As we welcome you into Studio 2A here in Los Angeles, California. You know, our guy, we stopped using the expression Rain Man because we wanted to be properly sensitive. But you called it, though. You know, you said the Redskins were going to run the table, and then today you said Seattle would do it.
Well, that was real strange, wasn't it?
He picked Tampa to win last week.
No,
did he? Okay.
Did not. Now, don't go. Why do you want to be like that?
So, Jimmy, what do you think?
The Redskins gave a great effort. You had a great run, but I've been there before. You know, being a wild card, being on the road, then you have to go on the road again against a team that's had a week of rest. I mean, you look at the energy of the two teams. You know, Washington was given a great effort, but they weren't crisp. You look at Seattle, the way they tackled, the way they moved around, the energy on defense. Yeah, they were ready to play this ball game. And again, hats off to Washington. They had a great run, but Seattle was more prepared. 3 turnovers, and if you had said to the Washington Redskins, you're going to knock Sean Alexander out of the game in the first series, what are your chances of winning? Pretty darn good.
And 3 turnovers, yeah.
Yeah, let's go to highlights. What do you say, gang?
You know what? You run this show. Let's go to the highlights.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Says he wants to go to the highlights.
Let's get it on.
Let's go to the highlights and show it to you.
Physicality. I'm going to show you some physicality. There it is. Seahawks fans, you got a right to be excited. The NFL's most valuable player, Sean Alexander, showing you how to hang on there. Got a fumble. And there's Lamar Marshall recovers. And then, unfortunately, Alexander hit by Griffin, knocked out, left the game with a concussion, and did not return. So, turn it over to Matt Hasselbeck. Quarterback play action. Down the middle to Jackson. Jackson, the Seattle playoff record for receiving. 9 for 143 yards and a touchdown. That was a touchdown, 7-3. Man-to-man coverage inside the 10-yard line. Who covers the quarterback? Nobody. 6-yard touchdown run. Nice job, Hasselbeck. It's 14-3. Now, here we go, fourth quarter. Brunel out, scrambling, firing, Santana Moss. Great year for Moss. A little deflection, 20-yard touchdown catch, great concentration. Off the bench comes Max Strong, 34-year-old man, 32-yard run, led to a Josh Brown field goal, 20-10. Game's wrapped up. Seahawks, 20 years. Mike Holmgren, congratulations. We at Fox look forward to being in Seattle for the championship game next year. And Joe Gibbs and the Redskins, outstanding effort.
And after the game, our own big fella, Tony Siragusa, caught up with the guy who had an outstanding game indeed. That would be quarterback Matt Hasselbeck.
Thanks, guys. We're here with Matt Hasselbeck. Matt, you guys lose Sean Alexander early in the game. Coach Holmgren said at halftime he's got to put it on your shoulders. Looks like it was no problem.
Well, I don't know if it was me. You know, those other guys stepped up. Our offensive line continued to do what they do. Max Strong had some big runs. Maurice Morris played great. I'm so proud of him. Finally got an opportunity, and he did well for us. And it was really a team win today. You know, our defense stepped up when they had to. We turned the ball over a bunch, and it's just really a great feeling right now to win this game.
The game tomorrow, Chicago against Carolina. Anybody you'll be rooting for?
You know, not too much. At this point, I like to see guys I know do well. I know a couple of guys on both teams, and, you know, whoever it is, I'm just happy to be in the game.
Congratulations, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Back to you guys.
You know what, rather than steal Blonde Bomber's points here, I mean, big pressure game for Matt Hasselbeck, and boy, he met every point.
And played in 2 weeks. You lose your MVP in the league. You have turnovers. You get behind in this football game. You know the other team knows you have to throw the football. Matt Hasselbeck answered all the questions that he might have had about himself. Can I play in this environment and this playoff pressure and get our team its first victory in 20 years? And all of that was answered today.
And remember, just a couple of years ago, Mike Holmgren and Matt Hasselbeck were kind of like this.
Right?
Button heads. Matt Hasselbeck has evolved as a player. He's matured. He understands the offense. He understands what Mike Holmgren wants from this offense. Made some great throws. Forced some throws today that kind of scared you.
Howie and Terry, you know, we talked about it at halftime. It seems like Hasselbeck is making better decisions. And having to adjust his game plan without Sean Alexander in the ball game, knowing he was going to have to take the ball and put it in the end zone and scramble around, he made great decisions today. A lot of poise, and that's what you look for, JB, a guy that's calm under pressure, and he's displayed that poise today.
I think it also says and speaks volumes for the team that they showed a little bit of patience as well, too. Mike Holmgren getting the time to let this team develop, and they come through in a big way. As a matter of fact, speaking of Mike Holmgren, we'll go inside the Seattle locker room when we come back, and we'll continue to break it down with our guys, their expertise, as we talk about this game here. Outstanding air performance. Well, you heard Terry Bradshaw delineate all the reasons why Matt Hasselbeck had an excellent one. The coach and how he said good decision-making indeed. And Max Strong, how nice to see an unsung hero come up with a big run, longest run in Seahawks playoff history. Back with more after this.
Available satellite navigation, standard XM satellite radio, and OnStar. 3 more reasons SRX has been named Car and Driver's best luxury SUV 2 years running.
I'd like to redeem my credit card miles to Miami.
No, blacked out.
Ooh, you sound strong. Please?
No.
Just for me.
Okay.
The answer's always no.
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. There are no blackout dates on any airline, anytime.
Should have worked at Capital One. What's in your wallet?
A standard power rear liftgate. One more reason Cadillac SRX has been named Car and Driver's best luxury SUV 2 years running.
On the new new season of 24.
I never thought anything like this could ever happen. I started to believe that a guy like me could actually get a second chance.
The only thing more shocking than the first 10 minutes is the way it ends.
I have to finish this.
24, the two-night premiere event, begins at 8, 7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Hey, results are in. Howie Long says that Jimmy Johnson will be up in Seattle doing a little salmon fishing next week, and guess what? He'll be doing it with a spiked hairdo. 64% of the votes say Jimmy, keep it. Bill Moss found a big fan of Jimmy Johnson's in Denver.
As you were flying in today on your plane, you watched the pregame show?
Watched the pregame show, and I must say, I agree with you. I like Coach Chiopet very much. That I'm thinking about whether I can get my $17 an hour guy to do my hair like that. He does look handsome, though. You really do, Coach.
Thanks. Best of luck today. You heard it, Coach Chiopet. Consensus is in. They love your hair. JB, back to you.
Hey, Bill, and the nice thing is Howie is always saying that Jimmy Johnson at one point was feared. Now, if you get Mr. Kraft to do that hairdo.
Hey, now I'm a Chia Pet.
My man, you are Hollywood through and through. I don't know him anymore.
It's true. It's true. It's true. I'm a Chia Pet. I'm a Chia Pet.
Oh, boy, before he sinks any further, let me tell you, obviously Mike Holmgren has to be awfully excited about what they've accomplished, winning their first playoff game, as the guys have said all day long, the first in 20 years. Let's give a listen inside the locker room, Seahawks Victory Locker Room.
Mr. Brown wanted to talk to you, but you know what? I'm going to let him go first, seeing as how he's a big man.
I just wanted to say how proud I am of all you guys. I mean, we had some adversity this game. We overcame that. This was a tough opponent. You know, we took it to them. How about that? The defense played great. And the other thing, you know, that the fans out there were just going crazy for you guys. And I wanted to, you know, if you guys get a chance afterwards, thank the fans because they were behind you guys all the way. And you know, we don't have to talk about 1984 ever again. So we got a big game coming up next week, and let's keep it going. We'll keep it going.
Jimmy, you know, as you reflect on when that first happened for you and giving a victory speech in the locker room.
Well, you know, we had such a bad football team with the Cowboys there my first year or two, and then the third year we go to Chicago on the road, we're a wild card, we block a punt, we win the game. You know, you got visions of, okay, well, maybe we can get a ring. You know, maybe good things can happen for us. And, you know, this has got to be such a positive for the Seattle Seahawks. It's been such a long drought. You know, not being in the playoffs and not winning a playoff game has to be a great thrill for Mike Holmgren.
All right, talk about getting the monkey off their backs, and exactly they've done that. Next week, the NFC Championship game in Seattle. We'll come back and take a look at tomorrow's game right after this.
Introducing the mid-size Nissan Frontier. Mid-size truck, full-size hardware, goodbye compact.
Just in time for Super Bowl 40 comes the Ultimate Football DVD. The greatest Super Bowl moments with 3 hours of NFL action and interviews with the legends that made Super Bowl history. You'll see highlights of every Super Bowl, from Vince Lombardi and the Packers of the 60s through the New England Patriots' modern dynasty. A great gift for any football fan this holiday season. The greatest Super Bowl moments is available now everywhere DVDs are sold.
Fox tonight. Cops have seen some strange crimes, but nothing like this.
You kidnapped a drug dealer? That's the first time I've heard that.
And on the Cops then. He committed over 50 armed robberies, but your tips tracked him down. Now we confront this captured criminal.
Was it worth it?
America's Most Wanted. It all starts at 8, 7 Central tonight on Fox.
Restyled, reconfigured, reimagined. The Accord from Honda. There's nothing vanilla about it. Lease an Accord for $239 a month with a total drive-off of $19.99 for well-qualified customers.
Thousands of truck buyers are checking out Toyota trucks, and thousands are trading up.
If I went with Toyota, I was guaranteed to get a quality product.
But when guys pull up next to me, look at my truck and look at their truck and realize mine's bigger than theirs, and I'm like, matter of fact, it is.
Take $1,500 cash back on the new 06 Tundra. Save with 0 APR for 60 months, or lease for just $259 a month for 36 months with $259 due. Toyota, moving forward.
Fox tonight, cops have seen some strange crimes, but they've never seen anybody try to kidnap a drug dealer before on an all-new Cops. Then, America's Most Wanted confronts an armed robber that you helped capture. America's Most Wanted. It's all coming up next in less than 3 minutes, except on the West Coast, as we welcome you back to give you some wrap-up thoughts. Tomorrow's game, Carolina Panthers at the Chicago Bears. Tomorrow, coverage starts at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific right here on Fox, and we'll get our guys' thoughts, starting with Coach Chiapet.
Well, I would never think, that we'd have more hitting in tomorrow's game as what we had today, because you watch this game today, it was physical. With Washington, with Seattle, there were some big hits. But Chicago, Carolina, two great defensive teams. Now, it was 13-3 first time around. I look for something different tomorrow.
Well, I think it's going to be as physical, if not more. I think the Carolina Panthers, we can candy coat it. You and I have looked at the film. They got whipped. They got whipped up front. Bad. They got whipped at both tackles. They got whipped at both guards. At the center position, the quarterback looked horrible, particularly in the first two series. Your defensive line struggled. If I'm the Carolina Panthers, it's about redemption.
Yep, and if I'm certainly sitting here and wondering how's Rex Grossman going to play in his first playoff game. You know what? There's no reason. He can play well. On the other hand, Jake Delhomme, 8 sacks the last time, got hit early, got him totally out of rhythm. He had the happy feet. So tomorrow, huge game. Bears, Carolina Panthers, I look forward to it.
A lot of police officers saw Jimmy in that little clip that we ran earlier from the Shield. A lot of cops are standing around here waiting to arrest Jimmy with this hairdo, but you know what?
I'll tell you what.
Jimmy says he'll be back tomorrow
with it. You don't want that guy in your neighborhood, would you?
No question, not at all. With that in mind, Cops is coming up next.
It's true.
Except on the West Coast. We'll find out if Jimmy Johnson is bold enough to wear that hair tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.
Promotional consideration paid for by Fox Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. The NFL is online at www.nfl.com.
You've been watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in HD and presented by DirecTV.
The Southwest Shortcut, the fastest way to our lowest online fares, only at southwest.com.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, home to Major League Baseball, the National Football League, NASCAR, and the new home of the BCS. America's #1 sports network, Fox Sports.
We're getting involved with the Bally 30-day program to lose our collective pregnancy weight.
It's great we're doing it together. It's definitely a new chapter for us.
Get it together today. Join Bally Total Fitness now for no money to start and get a free personal training session.
Here we are 30 days later, the new and approved Hickmans.
The best thing is losing my gut.
I've lost a total of 13¼ inches. I feel really good right now, and I know what.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to cop a feel.
Meet your potential. Call 1-800-FITNESS for the club nearest you.
If your road trips occasionally turn into off-road trips.
Downhill assist control, I like it.
And your cargo is sometimes more than a bag of groceries.
Pop out the third row seat and look at all that space.
Toyota 4Runner is your SUV. Inhospitable terrain, forbidding places.
No problem.
No problem. 4Runner's not only tough, it earned a great safety rating. Take $1,000 back or low APR on a new 06 4Runner, or lease one for $359 a month for 36 months with $359 due. Toyota, moving forward.
It only happens once a year.
You're through to Hollywood.
The dream is back. Yes! American Idol.
Tuesday night at 7 on Fox 26.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John don't come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Cops is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Fact: the flu virus can live on a surface for up to 2 days. Fact: Lysol disinfectant spray is unbeatable when it comes to killing cold and flu viruses because Lysol kills 99.9% of flu germs. And that's music to a mother's ears. Life demands Lysol. That's a fact. You can also wipe out cold and flu germs with Lysol sanitizing wipes.
KFC's Flavor Station puts you in charge.
Ever since KFC started dipping his boneless wings in honey barbecue, he's yelling, "I'm in charge."
Yeah, you with the boneless wings. Are you saying you can get those dipped in any sauce you want?
I choose my sauce, so I am in charge.
Now get boneless wings at KFC's Flavor Station. 100% breast meat boneless wings dipped any way you want. Choose from our classic honey barbecue sauce, fiery buffalo, or sweet and spicy. Try 6 boneless wings for $2.99 or 18 for $8.79. Be the boss, choose your sauce, only at KFC. SOCOM 3, rated M for mature.
Just in time for Super Bowl 40 comes the greatest Super Bowl moments on DVD, featuring 3 hours of NFL action and highlights of every Super Bowl. A great gift this holiday season. The greatest Super Bowl moments is available now everywhere DVDs are sold.
Due to the length of today's game, we now join cops already in progress.
Out. Hands out. Cross your feet. Do it now. Yes, sir. Put your face on the ground. Look away.
Look away. Look to your left.
Sir, what are you arresting me for?
You're being detained.
What are you guys arresting me for?
Secured? Gun right. Is that a gun right there, Nance? 10-12 secured.
Yes, sir. I have a gun. I was just going back to my place.
Where's your gun?
It's in my shoulder holster right here, sir.
Shoulder holster. All right. All right, continue searching him real quick.
Loaded.
Yes, sir.
Where's the chamber?
One in the chamber? All right. We got 2 mags also, empty.
Sir, what is this about,
Nice.
sir? I was just going back.
Well, right now you're carrying a gun. We'll talk to you in just a minute. Left pants pocket?
Yep. Yes, sir. I have a marijuana pipe.
Yeah, we know that. We just found it.
Yes, sir.
Scroll back on your face.
We got 2 news articles in here about bank robberies that happened in Fort Myers area. Reference to robbing a SunTrust Bank on Daniels.
What's your name, Ray?
2 news articles about bank robberies. Yeah, a loaded Glock, shoulder holster, 1 in the chamber, 2 empty mags, pipe, a couple flashlights, matches the description, carrying a radio. I'll go up and talk to the complainant, and we'll come back and figure out exactly what we got.
Can you guys get my stereo?
Yeah, we'll get all your property in just a minute, man.
Hey. I'm sorry you guys for any trouble I caused.
Okay. Sit at an angle, all right? Don't sit on your hands. It hurts.
Yes, sir.
You guys are called?
Yeah.
All right. Tell me basically what happened.
Me and him were taking out the trash, and out of nowhere comes this dude, out of the darkness. And he's like, "Hey, man, what's up?" He had a beer in his hand. He's like, hey, man, what's up? You guys want to party? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. You know, I got a kid at the house chilling. I'm just checking the mail. He's like, oh, yeah. Well, we sat down, and he's like, oh, man, I've been doing coke, smoking. I smoked out with all these dudes. And he's like, now I'm just chilling, about to go get another 12-pack. And he's like, you guys want to see my gun? Just like that. I don't even know him. And I was like, are you kidding me? So this fool pulls out a gun out of his holster. And he's like, yeah.
Where was the holster at?
Right here.
The shoulder holster?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, it's a 9mm or something. So I was like, wow. And he's like, yeah, I robbed a bank. Just like that.
He just told you that.
Just like that. And you know, being geeked up the way he was and stoned, I don't think he was lying.
Right.
He's so proud of himself. And he said, yeah, they wrote an article on me and everything. He's like, I put a fake tag on my car, and I went in there, and I had a ski mask, and I walked in, and I had just gotten my gun. And I pointed it at them, and I told them I wanted all the money, and they started to give me ones, and then they started shoving 50s and 100s in my book bag, and I was like, wow, so how much did you get? He's like, $3,500. And I was like, really? Where do you live? And he's like, I live in building 1. I came straight here, and it's all here, and blah, 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 this, that, and the other.
All right, and then we'll just have you hang tight until the detective gets here, and we'll get a quick statement from you.
Right, sounds good.
Appreciate it. Steven, do you have a concealed weapons permit?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
Okay. You ever been arrested before in the past for anything?
Yes, sir.
For what?
Possession of burglary tools.
How long ago was that?
That was about 5-6 years ago, sir.
5 or 6 years ago? How old are you now?
21.
21, so you're a juvenile when that happened?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I just got the gun today, sir. I practiced firing at Fowler Firearms. The only time I ever took it out was to the pool, and I was under the impression that, you know, you could take it to your car, you could take it around your house and stuff.
Okay. Have you been doing any drugs or anything today? Be honest now. What'd you do?
I smoked a little bit, sir.
Smoked a bit of what? Marijuana or crack?
Marijuana, sir.
Marijuana? All right, right now you're going to jail for carrying concealed firearm, okay? Possession of marijuana paraphernalia, drug paraphernalia.
Yes, sir.
All right? And we'll get you down the holding cell here shortly, and we'll come in and see if you want to have a talk. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, hang tight. He had this gun. There was a round in the chamber.
It's concealed?
It was concealed. He doesn't have a concealed weapons permit. We verified that. So right now he's going to go to jail for the gun and the paraphernalia. We'll get with the county and turn it over to the detectives, and they can try to link him up to the robbery.
Mommy, would you be a dear and go to Radio Shack and pick me up this Sprint phone? You can get the fair and flexible plan, which Daddy's accountant loves. And they come in lots of adorable colors. Hold on. Pendleton!
Miss.
Oh. Yeah. I like the blue one and the pink one. And get Pendleton the black one. He's such a little teddy bear.
Not really, madam.
I guess you are.
Not at
Don't just get a phone.
so
Get the right
are.
phone
Oh,
at
yes,
Radio
you are.
Shack.
You are.
Fast is good. Like an instant money refund anticipation loan from H&R Block. You can get money on the spot.
That's fast.
H&R Block, in your corner.
Still getting dandruff? Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo helps eliminate dandruff starting after just one use. T-Gel Shampoo. It works. Neutrogena.
Next, it's a bonus episode of Pops on Fox.
Tonight, a Harris County inmate dies after being shocked with a taser, and a grieving family says they may file a lawsuit. I'm Ford Atkinson. Also tonight on Fox 26 News at 9, Minnesota has had a professional wrestler serve as governor. Now a self-proclaimed Dracula is running for the job.
At Taco Cabana, there are many combinations of our taco combo meals. Starting at just $2.99, you're sure to find just the right one. They all come with chips, queso, and a 20-ounce drink, and none of them will break the bank. Taco Cabana, real Mexican, real good.
Discover the styles of the Starving Artists Art Sale. Discover the beauty that real hand-painted oils can bring to your home. Original sofa-sized paintings sold elsewhere for hundreds of dollars, as low as $19. Smaller paintings from $7, and absolutely nothing over $59. This Sunday only, discover the Starving Artists Art Sale. At the Wyndham Greens Point, the West Chase Hilton, the Sugarland Marriott, and the Nassau Bay Hilton this Sunday, 11 to 4.
With greater frame strength, more payload capacity, and a higher safety rating than Chevy, Dodge, and Toyota. What more can you say about Texas' best-selling Ford F-150? I love this truck. Toby seems most truck owners agree, ranking Ford F-150 highest in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. Now get $5,000 cash back or 0% financing.
Ford Trucks, the best in Texas.
Fox 26 News at 9, on top of breaking news.
There is a rescue underway right now in Fort Bend County.
With First on Fox Reports.
Houston police are involved in a hostage situation at this hour.
Fox 26 News at 9, news that works for you.
Why snack for 99 cents when you can have a real sandwich? Church's new 99-cent spicy chicken sandwich. This ain't no snack. Big, tasty, with a one-of-a-kind spicy crunch. Or get 10 spicy pieces for $4.99. Get more crunch for your buck. Church's.
There's only one day left until the television event of the new year. No! The 24 two-night premiere begins tomorrow at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
We're arriving on a call of a suspicious vehicle, possibly a drunk driver. A citizen was following the vehicle, and evidently the driver got nervous and jumped out and bailed from the car after crashing. So we're about to arrive right here, right now, and see if we can't locate this guy. The guy was following him for quite a ways, on the phone with dispatch. Take over here. Basically, the person reporting said that he kept hitting curbs and swiping side to side on the road. You can see there some damage to the vehicle from where he hit a curb or something. And he actually made contact with the house here. We got the air unit here. We think he's hiding in one of these backyards. He was last seen jumping over this wall, so we're gonna... There's 100 places he could be hiding back here.
In either yard? He's got clear
34, go ahead.
Left right there. There's going to be a yellow car in the driveway and a silver pickup truck parked out in front. The trailer that I'm looking at is in my light there.
That's affirmative. The air unit thinks he might be hiding underneath this trailer here, so let's see if we can't find this guy. Metro Police, show me your hands. How you doing? Control 1 George 34, code red. Hey, I see you laying in it. If you do not extend your hands out and crawl out, I'm gonna release the dog on you. Control 1 George 34, I got one at gunpoint. He's not responding to voice commands. The address air unit just gave, 53. Hey, sound off or you're gonna get the dog released on you. Crawl out. Now or you're gonna get tased. Come out, hands.
Stay on your face. Stay on your face. Keep crawling.
Keep crawling out. Keep crawling out.
Keep coming. Stop right there. Put your hands out to your sides. Cross your feet. Pull your feet up to your butt.
Hands behind your back. Palms flat together.
Quiet. Take it into custody.
Any weapons on you? Any knives? Any needles? Roll over to your side. Come on up. Use yourself. Use your